the spotlight, but the Blues and the Crows have been hot. Carlton have won their last 9. Adelaide, their last 4. Hi everyone, welcome along to Optus Oval for more action from round 15 in the AFL competition. This afternoon, it's Carlton against the Adelaide Crows. Dennis Committee alongside Doug Hawkins. And Doug, both these sides going particularly well at the moment.
Absolutely, Dennis. Both sides are flying at the moment. And the midfields are really fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that clash between the two brilliant midfields.
Adelaide very good last week. I saw them against Freo. They won by 73 points. Their first half quite outstanding. Their ability to dig the ball out of the centre was very, very good. And what about Mark Beckley? What an ornament to the game. What an ornament to Adelaide.
And he's been great. I mean, the captain, back-to-back premierships, and today playing his 200th game. I think he's only the second player with Nigel Smart to have played 200 games. So Mark Beckley, hats off to you. Well done. The 1%ers, he's been terrific.
Out come the Blues. They had the battle last week before they finally beat Geelong by 10 points. Head-to-head, Carlton lead Adelaide 11-3. Steve Silvani, we've got to say too, it's been a while since they've won at this ground, the Adelaide Crows, just once in fact, and we have to go back to round 17 of 1991. Spot the players, identify them, go on, I dare you.
Well, there was Tony McGuinness, gave it over, looked like Brown kicked it forward. Tommy Alvin with the long hair, there's Bones, which is McDermott's gone forward and kicked a great goal.
Oh, that's your era.
It was my era, Dennis. He would have been captain of the Crows probably back in those days.
Name a go.
There we go now. Looks like Simon Tregenza handballs the bloke with a bit of hair is Nigel Smart.
Absolutely.
And he got it over to Matthew Liptap with a great handball there from...
It's getting tougher now.
Is that number 20? I know his name, I just can't remember, Dennis.
Around 17, 1991. And speaking of players, in the early game here today, interesting player going around for the Blues. Justin Murphy was having a run. He looked okay, and obviously nice to reintroduce him late in the season.
No doubt, Dennis. He came on late in the second quarter. As we know, he's missed a fair bit of football with that knee reconstruction, the right knee. He probably had 20 touches in the second half. Imagine him just slotting himself back in the wing down the Carlton side. Wouldn't that be great for the Blues?
And he's still got the temperament. Obviously, Carlton have made 2 changes. Steve O'Reilly is back, they say, on the forward line.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see if O'Reilly does go forward. Their back line's been very good. Silvani, McKay gives them plenty of run. Mansfield's been in fairly good touch. And first gamer Andrew Merrington, the son of a Footscray Gary Merrington, played 174 games. So good luck to Andrew Merrington playing his first game of AFL football.
Anthony Kurtafiti is a man who could determine the outcome of this one, the Brownlow favourite.
Well, no doubt about that, Dennis. The last 6 or 7 weeks, he's been in great form. The thing about Kuta now, he can go forward and kick you a bag of goals and can win the ball at the centre with his ability to win your 30 very, very important touches.
Lance Whitnell, so young, so good. 6 goals last week, 5 in the first half, 4 in the first quarter.
Yeah, great play down the centre half forward. He's gone to a new level as well as Kuta. Be a great matchup if Matthew Robin picks him up, because Robin's been absolutely in brilliant form at centre half back for the Adelaide Crows.
Speaking of matchups, this man is hard to match up on. Matthew Lappin, 24 goals for the season.
Bit of a goal sneak, no doubt about that, Dennis. And the good thing about Lappin is you give him 6 or 7 chances, he has the ability to kick you 4 or 5 very important goals, and a very dangerous player on the forward line for the Blues.
Interesting to note, after round 6, the Adelaide Crows were back in 14th position. They've won 7 of their last 9. You can see the run. Hawthorn, Port Adelaide, St Kilda. Those 2 losses back-to-back against a couple of heavyweights there. Round 9 against the Kangaroos. Very tight game against the Bombers. They led till deep in the 3rd term before Michael Long and the Bombers came over the top. And then 4, Melbourne, Sydney, Richmond and Fremantle. Victories back-to-back. And last week, as I said, a very nice workout by Adelaide at Football Park. Can they go on this afternoon? Well, they've made 3 changes, and on face value, you would say they're stronger than last week. Burton, Johnson and Caven. Yeah,
no doubt about Burton and Johnson are very important players in their midfield. As we touched on, Bickley playing 200 games. Good luck to him today. And Peter Caven, who haven't seen much of footy this year of Peter Caven, so welcome him back into the Adelaide Crows lineup as well.
Darren Jarman, 4 goals last week. Interesting situation in Adelaide. It's been a topic of much speculation and conversation. Should he stay on the ground? He came off late last week, but just to give him a rest.
I'll leave him on the ground, Dennis. I think he's the Rolls Royce up in their forward line. You give him 6 or 7 chances. He's got the ability to kick you those goals, and he still is a class act, is Darren Jarman.
Peter Vardy, another busy forward, 6 goals a fortnight ago. Well held by Shane Parker last week against Fremantle.
Bit like Matthew Lappin, Dennis, I reckon, up in their forward line. Peter Vardy, that opportunist goal kicker for the Adelaide Crows. You give him a few chances too. He is a great kick for goal, and he rarely misses.
And you talk about the midfield. Here's the heart and soul of the Adelaide midfield, Mark Rasciuto, averaging 28 possessions a game this week.
He's my pick for the Brownlow medal at the moment, Mark Rasciuto. He's been in outstanding form for Adelaide Crows. The thing about Mark Rasciuto now is his concentration on the football has been first class, and he wins those hard balls out of the centre. He's been in great form, Mark Rasciuto.
Who do you like, Dougie?
I like Carlton, but it'll be a great game, Dennis. Very, very tight.
Saturday football in the Blues and the Crows set to go off this oval. We're looking forward to this one.
Ah, there's that ad again.
What ad?
You know, the one with the dog on the bottle?
It's not a dog. It's a Tasmanian tiger.
Huh?
There's none left, you know.
What, they sold out?
No more Tasmanian tigers. They're extinct, although a lot of people reckon they're still out there in the Tasmanian wilderness.
Well, this one's definitely extinct.
Cascade Premium Light. It's the best light beer you'll ever taste.
Have you taken care of your health cover?
I've got extras, but I need hospital now.
Why not a package?
Really?
There's so much you get with it. You get packages for families, couples, singles.
It sounds expensive.
No, less than you think.
How do you know?
Just called 1-800-188-188.
I feel better now.
For the first time this century, Triple M presents Sprint Auto Parts Supercross Masters June 23 and 24 at the Entertainment Centre. Australia's hottest riders, Reed, Anderson and Byrne, take on the Extreme Team, plus the best from the US. The No Fear Expression Session, All-Star Postie Bike Race and the Do or Die B&D Motorcycles Demolition Derby. Sprint Auto Parts Supercross Masters Entertainment Centre June 23 and 24. Trackside tickets now at Bass.
There's no better choice when it comes to car insurance.
Here's a couple renovating their home. Unfortunately, he's put his foot in it.
Up on that side
and
there.
These two could do with some advice.
I'll tell you when it's level. I'll hold it.
And here's the Mitre 10 advice line, 136310. So now you can call any day and get expert on-the-job solutions.
Yep, we can fix it. Yep.
From the specialists at the store that understands it's not just the low price. It's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Chisel a bit off the other end.
Chisel a bit off the other end.
Monday night, come on a search for the largest storm on Earth. And into the eye of a typhoon on Stormforce, Monday night on 7. At 8:30, Ally McBeal finds online romance.
He's agreeing to meet me. We're going to meet tonight.
But wait till you see who it is. Find out on Ally McBeal Monday night at 8:30. Then at 9:30 on The Practice, can an accused man prove his innocence in time?
He's about to be executed.
Channel 7, the one to watch Monday night.
Ball at Optus Oval, and there's the scene. A pretty big crowd too as we say good afternoon to Paul Couch joining us on the telecast.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dennis, and I'm going to enjoy this game here. Gary Ayres has coached very well against Carlton. He's won the last 4 against them when he was with Geelong. And look, he knows the ins and outs of Carlton, has been very successful against them. And generally, Carlton kick 60% of the goals from 40 metres out from marking options. And you'll see the Adelaide midfield push back into that area to block up that 40-metre area just outside.
Umpires today, Kennedy, Humphrey Smith and Wen. I know it sounds like 4, but it's only 3. Round 15. Optus Oval. Mansfield starting on the bench alongside Lappin.
Andrew Merrington and Ryan Hullan also on the bench for Carlton.
Promising youngsters. Very important game, this one. Umpire Kennedy to bounce it down. Matthew Allen is studying concentration. The breeze hardly a factor. Carlton going right to left. Allen goes up and knocks it down. Ratton tries to soccer it. Misses. Camporelli, a former South Australian. Slick handball away. Franchina kicking down towards half forward. Houghton in front at the second attempt. Takes the mark. Man on towards the pocket. Bradley wants the ball. That's ignored. Allen is running down towards the square, but Houghton fancies his chances and ignores everything. He'll kick from right on the 50. Good looking effort. Great start by the Blues.
Well, Trent Houghton's been given another chance after leaving Collingwood a couple of seasons ago, and he's been in very good form for the Carlton side. The good thing I like about Houghton, he can go into the back line and be a defender as well. This is the start, no doubt, the Blues wanted. We see Camporelli get a handball out to Anthony Franchina, who's been a very good player and a tag as well in the past for the Carlton side. And a good mark there by Houghton. As I said, that's a start certainly the Blues would have loved to have, and they've got it.
Deja vu, going back to last week. Fremantle got a very quick goal against Adelaide. In the final analysis, it stood for naught.
See Silvani's picking up Darren Jarman in the forward line for the Crows.
Allen and Biglands. Biglands with the jump. Allen stood underneath him. Hickmott went in hard. Rashudo out of the middle, kicking down inside the 50. The ball hangs a long time in the air, and Beaumont takes a terrific mark going back. Beaumont up from the back pocket, chips it across to Silvani. Silvani swings it wider still. Matthew Allen takes the mark on his chest at left half back, and he wants to go. Christou kicks it up towards the wing. Mark is dropped by Houghton, goes back after it. He's camped over the ball, raked it in, did he? Umpire lets them play. Now there's a whistle, and we'll have a bounce on the wing.
Dennis, good play by Houghton, though. Twice he's come attack the ball in front of his man in Bassett, but Camporelli's been picked up by Kim Costa. And you were right, Dougie. Robrins has got the job on Lance Whitnell, playing at full forward.
And as well, Couchy, Smart's got the job on Koutafidis. And I'm not sure if you said Bickley and Bradley, and young Humes tagging Andrew McLeod.
Hamill over the ball. Interesting to see the Blues in white shorts at home. This is Allen, forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Whitnell's in front. Robrin fisting away. Bradley close to the boundary line. Bickley takes him down. Throw it in, says the umpire.
And two old stages there. Mark Bickley, Craig Bradley picking each other up. So 200th game by Mark Bickley today. A great player for the Adelaide Crows.
As I said, overcast. Good day for footy. Partly cloudy. That's the forecast. It's certainly that. Currently 13 degrees. There's Hart dragged down.
And Dennis, a bloke who's got a big job today is Darren Hume on Andrew McLeod. Has been absolutely sensational form, and that's why they've won the last 4 games.
And the other big job too, Couch, is Anthony Franchina's got the job on Mark Rashudo. So
some great matchups,
big
Dougie,
job
today.
There for him, young Franchino.
More jobs. There's the bounce taken by Koutafidis, smothered by Goodwin, who goes after it, dragged down by Ratton. Over it.
Well, it's a good matchup, Nigel Smart on Anthony Koutafidis. He's the right height. He's got great agility too, Smart, so it's a great matchup there by the match committee of Adelaide.
Well, back in the 60s, guys played on each other too, you know. You haven't discovered these matchups.
Oh, no,
I just want to make that point.
Well, it's just the matchups are important.
I know. So a bounce about 40
we'll just keep
metres out.
matching up all day.
That's good. Jobs for the boys. Knocked down there by Smart. Still on the 50. Koutafidis picks it up, taken front on by Bickley. Goodwin gets the hand pass away. On the burst is Smart. Miscues with a kick up towards the wing. Waiting behind it's Beaumont. Nicely played. Christou upended as he kicked down towards the half-forward line. Off hands wide of the pack. Bickley slips over. Played it pretty well. Rashudo taken front on by Franchina. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Not quite sure whether Mark Bickley's got mouldeds on. It looked like he had mouldeds on there. Look, the ground is very soft. Adelaide Crows bench, Brett Jones, Brett Burton, Kane Johnson and Peter Caven.
Bit of talent there. Throw in. Almost a sellout crowd, this one. Smart hurriedly onto the boot. Costa stumbling to the ground. Camporelli well held last week. Getting busy early today, though. Whitnell almost the mark. Well done by Connell deep in defence. Rodman looking for Connell. Camporelli brilliantly done. Got through, knocked it to his own advantage.
Yes.
Kicks an inspirational goal.
Well, we talk about their midfield, and we always talk about Koutafidis, an outstanding season. You talk about Craig Bradley, the old warrior, and no doubt Ratton, but this is the man certainly, particularly early in the season, Scotty Camporelli, and he's continuing on his great form. That was just brilliant play. He read the ball beautifully, And a good lesson for young players, the way he just balanced up and kicked the goal. In rush, he just took his time. What a great goal by Scott Camporelli.
Averaging 28 possessions a game this season, but Carl Steinfort held him to just 11 last week. He's jumped out of the blocks today, Scott Camporelli. Biglan's in Allen on the way down. Biglan slaps it wide. McLeod gets the hand pass away. Stengline running down towards centre half forward. Coming on the lead. Deep in attack is Marsh. And the mark is paid.
And his opponent there, and Darren Hume, was on Andrew McLeod. Was too far away there. McLeod got away from him from that centre square. Bounce down there. It didn't work hard enough to pick up McLeod. McLeod had the opportunity to handball off. And that's why Adelaide are in attack.
Ben Marsh. Good to see him back. His side down by 12 points. The early going from Optus. Kicks from 48 metres. Looking to shape it left to right. It hangs out to the left and goes through for a minor score.
It'll be a match-up. I think Gary has to be fairly happy with Ben Marsh playing down there in the forward pocket, being picked up by Stephen O'Reilly. I just reckon O'Reilly's probably getting away 4 or 5 inches in height. If the ball can be quickly moved in their forward line, the one-on-one situation, I'm sure Marsh can beat O'Reilly in the air.
Christou drives it up towards the wing. O'Reilly was pushed in the back. No free kick. Waiting at the back is Bickley. Took the mark on his chest. Mark Bickley, what a warrior. Just forward of the wing, looking down towards half forward. Intended for Biglan. Did a bit of pushing down there too. Play on's the call. Prowl gets it away to Vardy. Hunt against the line. Pulls it back. Allen's in the row. Takes the mark.
There's only 2 players inside 50 in the forward line for Carlton. You've got Hamill and his opponent Ben Hart. The rest are right up over the centre line of the inside the forward line for the Adelaide Crows.
The thing with Hamill was very quiet last week, Dougie.
Yeah, he was.
They always match up a marking player on Hamill. They believe if he gets down early, doesn't rise to the occasion, doesn't come back in the second half. Once he gets down in confidence, he doesn't fight his way back.
Carlton bench. The ruckman touched the ball. Smart could have been pushed in the back. Bunners up again. Ratton didn't have it. It's going to be a free kick to Ratton for a throw. Goes on to McKay. In fact, it's coming back to Allen. Allen plays on. Silvani kicking it up towards the wing. Hickmott has been very good in recent weeks. Takes the running mark. Crowd wanting 50. Wasn't there. Hickmott edges around. Kicks it up towards half forward. Whitnell comes on the searching lead. Waiting in front, Jarman. Across towards support and Welsh close to the boundary line. Welsh pulls it back. Will Silvani put himself in the contest? Late decision, not required. Rice did very well. That was a terrific mark.
Great work by Backman there to play in front of Vardy, then to take the mark, Rice.
Allen deep in his own defensive area, goes towards the outer side. O'Reilly. Steve O'Reilly kicking down towards half forward. Houghton comes on the lead. That's a very strong grab in front. Not easy. Bassett there, step for step. Silvani back towards the middle now. Steve Silvani.
Got Bradley short.
Carlton by 11 points. Silvani kicking down towards half forward. Hamill comes on the lead, surrounded by Crows. Hart did well. Connell lacking support, dribbles it around the boundary. That was very good. Just the right bias on that one. It trickles across the line.
Just looks like Matthew Allen sort of playing a couple of kicks behind the play. It appears he might be playing maybe as a, well, not loose man at backline, because his opponent, Rhett Biglan's, is certainly going with him, but Allen is playing a couple of kicks behind the play.
Hart driving down towards half forward. Big leap down there. Christou hit the ball hard, smothered off the boot by Bickley. Bickley, great desperation, dives in on top of it, tries to get it out. Now he's penalised for, no he's not. Well, under the rule and the strict interpretation, he should have been penalised there, but that would have been absolutely stupid in the spirit of the game. One man made the play throughout. That was Mark Bickley, and the umpire was in 2 minds. You could see Hayden Kennedy. His initial movement, I think, was to penalise him, then decided, no, that would be unkind, I'll go and bounce it.
Now, there's about 32 players around the ball here, Dougie, so you got 1 in 32 chances here. Just have a look at that. The game's been very congested. No one's got a clear attack at the ball. Not letting Carlton use their space and use their skills. Camporelli hasn't been able to get loose, but just look at that play there. You're not going to get it. You can't get it out.
Well, they managed to. McKay trying to knock it back in was hard. Smart stands up in a tackle. Hickmott took him front on.
Yeah, went all of 10 metres there, Dennis, and that's what's going to happen.
no doubt, Couch, about
just
that.
quick kick out of there.
Yeah, you're right, no doubt, Couch. And both midfields are so even. You're going to expect this will be the pattern most of the day. A very, very crowded, particularly midfield area.
2 straight goals Carlton are behind Adelaide. Just under 13 minutes till quarter time, so a slow start. Hart backhanding it down. And again, as Edwards tries to crash through there. Another bounce, so umpire Kennedy getting plenty of practice. The ground looking terrific too. Lush, green. Conditions just tailor-made for good footy. Goodwin does nicely. Looping hand pass. Edwards running away from the congestion. On the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Jarman out in front. Loose ball at the back. Leading back is Christou. Crowell is right there with him. Beaumont on the assist. Silvani concedes. Hand passes it back about 10 metres for a behind.
And I must say that it's good to see Ange Christou back in pretty good form too. He's been very good early in this piece. He's working hard with the Carlton back line.
Camporelli's got it. Actually, it was Marsh who came on the lead just moments ago. Jarman opted out. Hickmott into the back of an opponent out there, and the free kick will go to Rashudo. Down towards left half forward, Mark Rashudo.
Good crowd there too, boys. Probably 25, 28,000. Good crowd.
Not often you see the Legends stand as it is today. It's almost full. Rashudo unloading just forward of the wing. Down towards full forward. Koutafidis launches himself from the side. Got a fist on it. Down in front, Edwards hit it hard. Confronted by McKay. Rice got him. Jarred out of there. Camporelli, the hurried kick around the outer side. Hamill worked off the line of the ball by Hart. Waiting behind Rashudo. Slipped over. Picked up by Hamill. Now Hamill's away. Slips the hand pass across to Fletcher. Fletcher kicks it down towards half forward. Hotton's in front. Bounces high. Gave Bassett a chance, and that's all he needed. He knocks it across the boundary line.
Missed opportunity there by Tread Hotton. Just fumbled the ball there a bit, but he's been good. He's been playing in front of Bassett, and he's had a few opportunities. He's only had 2 possessions at the moment, 2 strong marks at centre half forward.
Carlton starting the day in second place. The Crows are 8th, flexing their muscles recently. Robran knocks it down. Camporelli tries to get through. Costa takes him down. Hamill late on the pack. And a bounce, and Hamill needs to be a little careful.
Just seen a little bit of difference in play with Camporelli. He was looking for the ball outside last week, and this time he's in and under, so it's good to see him change his game. When you do struggle getting tagged, you've got to get in and under, share the workload.
He's had 5 touches, Couchy, to Camporelli. His opponent is Kim Costa's got to play a little bit tighter.
Houghton had it, lost it. Hume, Ratton, on against the boundary line. Bradley missed it. Connell out of defence then, close to the line. Rashudo takes the mark. Plenty of support by the sounds of it for the Crows here.
There's plenty of support.
Rashudo across towards the middle. Hamill had it knocked away. Roving the pack is Bassett. Didn't appear to have the ball. Koutafidis comes through. Smart clatters in. Battles with Hickmott. Over the top is Hamill once more. These umpires will be bounced out if they're not careful.
They certainly will be, Dennis. Don't be surprised there, Couchy, to see Rashudo maybe go forward. He's got Anthony Franchina. I just reckon if you can maybe isolate Rashudo forward, it'll be a good matchup there, particularly close to goal.
Just with his quickness and strength.
No doubt about that.
Koutafidis hand pass intercepted by Costa. He's got an escort. Eventually wide of the pack, McLeod kicking down towards half forward. Crowell's in front. Had it knocked away. Bradley. Hand passes to the voice out wide. Christou. He's on the wing. Christou pulls it back towards the middle. Not sure that's the spot or was it. Great kick, as it turns out, intended for Houghton. He marked and finds Allen.
Yeah, that matchup of Houghton and Bassett, I don't like that early. Houghton's very hot early. Been playing in front of Bassett. He should change his game a little bit. Houghton's leading to the ball there, and a good setup by Carlton, and Matthew Allen push forward up against Biglands.
Matthew Allen will kick from just inside the 50 to stretch the lead to 16 points if it's a goal. It's tight, very tight. Just missed.
Too close to the man on the mark.
Yeah, I probably agree with you there, Couchy, about that matchup. Maybe Ben Hart can go across and pick up Trent Houghton, and Bassett could play on Hamill. The way Houghton started this game, he certainly is a bit too quick over 5 metres for his opponent, Nathan Bassett.
Bassett straight down the middle. Robran, Biglands, they flew together. Plenty of blues on the ground as a result. Ratton's over the footy. Scrambles a kick down towards full forward. Up comes Whitnell, collides there with Costa. Hart did nicely, got it away to Bickley. Stengline out of defence, then kicking it up towards the wing. Edwards will need the go. It's 1-on-2. They need it out of bounds. It won't go out. McKay from the wing, centering kick. Bradley, awkward half volley. Gives the Crows a chance. Ratton, about 55 metres out. It was too tall for Hickmott. Kudafini's on the lead across the body. Whitnell battles down there and takes a great mark.
Just terrific body work there by Lance Whitnell. And what about the pickup from Craig Bradley? As Dennis called, I mean, it was a very hard half volley to pick up, and he picked up at full flight and didn't even stop there, Craig Bradley. Great play by the skipper.
Lance Whitnell, 20 metres out, kicks the goal.
Sunday on 7.
Ooh.
There is no limit to his phenomenal talent.
Man, I would love to get my hands on your carburetor.
I bet you would.
What's happening to him is beyond your wildest dreams.
You learned the Portuguese language in 20 minutes?
Not all of it.
John Travolta in a feel-good movie you'll wish would never end.
Did you feel that?
Feel what?
Phenomenon. Sunday on 7.
As I said in the pre-game, so young and so good. Lance Whitnell has kicked 40 goals for the season. 6 last week, and they were big-time goals in a low-scoring game. 4 in the opening term. Marsh goes up, knocks it down. Ratton, a good tackle on Goodwin. Comes out wide of the pack to be picked up by Bickley. Bickley, the high ball down towards half forward. Crowell launches himself off his fingertips, came back to him. Christou wrestles him to the ground. And there's a man who's resurrected his career, and Christou. He's back and playing well.
That 95 backline, the grand final premiership side of Kudafini's.
McKay.
Got Christou, McKay, Silvani.
Ratton out of the congestion. Up towards the wing. McLeod mops up behind. Fletcher comes at him. McLeod works off him. Did pretty well in a tight situation. Hume likewise knocked it away from Goodwin. It's out of bounds on the wing.
Just falling down at centre-half forward at the moment, the Adelaide Crows. They need someone down there to take a mark at this stage. It looked like a very small forward line set up. It looks like maybe Rowan Welch could be that man to take that mark down at centre-half forward.
Marsh almost clean possession. Costa fell on Camporelli. Goodwin's hand pass high. Franchina knocks it towards the boundary. That's in the back on Houghton, and he'll get the free kick out there.
Well, Dougie, Carlton have been inside 6 times to Adelaide 4, and they've kicked 3 goals at Carlton.
Houghton, not always a good kick. That wasn't good. Well played by Smart. Goodwin got the ball away to Connell, coming off 32 possessions last week, and now Hart running through centre-half back and kicking down towards half forward. What a body work. O'Reilly played it pretty well. Biglands came back again. Well done, big fella. Biglands tracking it out towards the boundary. A little sleight of foot. He stepped over the ball. It's close to the boundary line. Crowd want a free kick off the ball, and O'Reilly will get it. Something Alan Shearer would do there. Just steps over the ball. Little
kick was there, Dennis, no doubt.
Oh, no doubt. So up on the wing. Hickmott runs onto the loose ball, pulls it back towards the middle, and Kudafini's well played again by Smart. Ratton's hands too slick for Camporelli. Costa breaks through, probing kick down towards half forward. Going back, the mark is taken by Beaumont. They are breaking down there. Christou drives it towards the outer side. Allen will be too tall for Bassett. Bassett should be too nimble on the ground. Allen running out of partners across the boundary line. That will do him. And a boundary throw in.
You just wonder what you do there down at centre-half forward. Do you put the young player, Dennis, you touched on before, Biglands up at centre-half forward, or maybe put that option of Ashuto going forward and isolating the whole forward line?
Or put Matthew Rodman at centre-half forward, Dougie.
I think you might need him on Whitnell there, Couchy, I think.
Got to win the game there, a couple of goals behind.
Bickley taken down. Stengline, well shepherded by Costa. A hand pass wide. Franchina kept it in. Back to Hickmott. Hard against the boundary line. Little chip. Connell did well. Knocked away by Ratton. Fletcher charging through. Hand passes towards the middle. Over the ball there is Bassett. He was taken down. The tackling ferocious from the Blues. Chance for Hart. They've weathered the storm. Well done by the Crows. Bassett comes away. Chips to midfield and Marsh. With the numbers, the Crows. Looping hand pass. Crowell will need to go. Going to the ground. He hand passes inside the 50. Up comes Jarman. Paddling it away from his own goal. Slipped over. Going to the ground. Hand pass looking for Marsh to Smart. Smart half smothered by McKay. Play-on's the call. Hickmott waits. That was a mistake. Getting to him was Edwards. The ball came to McKay though. Gets it across to Allen. Allen kicking to half forward and Bradley. Well, they battled hard in the midfield, both sides. Carlton coming away with it. Bradley indecisive. Comes to Hamill. Did he mark it? Yes, he did.
And just a tackling and chase him, Carlton caused that error.
Hamill just forward of the centre circle looking for Whitnell. Well done by Robran. Crashed in there and jarred the ball loose. Costa falling to the ground. Got it to Connell. Connell's kicked to midfield. Smart will need to go. Well played. Got it on the deck, but it was 3-on-1. Hickmott gets it across to Christou. Inside the centre square. They're willing him to kick it. Well, not always the way. In the pocket. Hart's got it. Oh, Camporelli did well. Too high, says the umpire.
And Hart was willing it out, I think. Didn't want to go in.
No doubt, Couchy. It looks like Peter Cavins came on for the Adelaide. There's that tackle once again. A little bit high there on Hart, but it looks like Peter Cavins now has gone to centre half forward, picked up by Simon Beaumont.
Bassett to Sting line. To the wing. Players slipping over a lot. Marsh went to ground that time. Hickmott didn't. Whitnell kicks inside the 50. Hamill comes across and takes a wonderful grab.
It just looked like Ben Hart had that ball, had it written all over Ben Hart to take that mark. And as you called it, Dennis, Aaron Hamill come from the side. A bit of Royce Hart vintage on that one.
Great kick by Lance Whitnell on his left foot, on his opposite foot, but he just snatched it out a bit. Ben Hart there, sensational mark.
Same number as Royce. Two numbers have a bit to do with it, don't they?
It does, yeah, certainly does.
I was number 86.
Played Footscray, didn't you, Dennis?
I did, as a matter of fact.
Thank you very much. Did me homework.
Had to be good. That's deep research. Here's Hamill. He's about 25 metres out. What are you laughing about, Cat? Jangling your Brownlow. Lovely kick.
So exciting, waking to a brand new day. Only Coca-Cola makes you feel this way. Time for some fun, come on, enjoy. Enjoy the magic that never ends. Enjoy the moments, Coca-Cola, enjoy.
So the alarm bell sounding now for the Crows. In trouble. They trail by 23 points. And it's more the look of Carlton, the way they're going about their business at the moment. Playing very well. A lot of Crows slipping over. Bradley trying to clear a path. Arching the back was Hickmott. He slipped over. Could is tackled by Smart. They hang on to each other. Ratton's hand pass comes back to the boys. Great blocking by Franchina. Release Bradley. He's 55 metres out. Nobody back. It'll run on. Doesn't need to. It clears the line.
I'm young. I'm handsome. I'm fast. I'm pretty. And can't possibly be beat. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. I murdered a rock, injured a stone. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. I told you all that I was the greatest.
It is Mitsubishi.
Kane Johnson just on the ground in the foreground, running down in defence because Lappin's come on and nobody's on him at the moment. He's gone into the forward line. Franchina came off after a great shepherd just moments ago. Stenglein came off, so he came off with him. Picked up by Hickmott, who's proving very valuable. McKay goes up, knocks it down. Koudafides just wide of him. Costa to Jarman. Jarman's in trouble. Back to Johnson. Kane Johnson sweeps it out wide. This is Costa, forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Beaumont comes hard. Got a fist on it. Koudafides onto the loose ball. Back it comes to Beaumont, run down from behind this time. Caven falling to the ground, got boot to ball. Bounces down towards full forward. Now a chance for the Crows. Squishudo couldn't get through. Bradley having a wonderful turn. Got it to Christou. Comes out wide, just over the head of McKay. He runs back onto the loose ball, though. And McKay now with ample time. Kicks down towards centre half forward. Whitnell surrounded, waiting behind Bassett. Claimed immediately. In trouble. Slung. Lappin quick hands away. Going back towards full forward is Whitnell. Ratton spotted him. Whitnell almost collides with a teammate.
Well, Brett Ratton, who started outside the square in the first quarter against Geelong, has absolutely started in a blaze of glory here. 5 kicks, 2 handballs, been absolutely sensational, and 3 tackles. Just great vision there, front and square, didn't panic, saw Whitnell going forward, and a great pass to Lance Whitnell.
Kicks from 25 and gets his second.
Ah, there's that ad again.
What ad?
You know, the one with the dog on the bottle?
It's not a dog. It's a Tasmanian tiger.
Huh?
There's none left, you know.
What, they sold out?
No, no more Tasmanian tigers. They're extinct, although a lot of people reckon they're still out there in the Tasmanian wilderness.
Well, this one's definitely extinct.
Cascade Premium Light. It's the best light beer you'll ever taste.
What a start by the Blues then. Young Merrington introduced into the game, dying minutes of the opening term. Whitnell comes up to greet him, gives him a slap on the back. Meantime, back in the middle, good one. Smothered off the boot. They work so well in close. Ratton to McKay. Kicking down towards half forward. Merrington goes after it immediately. Bassett is there with him. It was Allen who came off, and the ball's across the boundary line.
Yeah, big raps here, Dennis, and Andrew Merrington. As I touched on a bit earlier, he's a son of a Footscray great, Gary Merrington, who played 174 games for the Footscray side. Now I think is a talent scout for the West Coast Eagles.
Wide of the pack. This is smart. Again, it's smothered. Hickman could have been taken high. Camporelli slips it away. Koutafidis got through from just outside the 50 to Bradley. Bradley spots a man across the goal face. Whitnell. This is wonderful stuff. And again, it was sparked by a smother.
I just wonder how Koutafidis got that kick through there to find Bradley. Here it is here. One hand, he kicked that with one hand to find Bradley. But great vision by the skipper now. Whitnell's kicked 2 goals already.
Make it 3.
I think we might have to make that move there, Dougie, because Adelaide have been inside 57 times. I think Matthew Robbins got to go up to centre half forward. He's a natural leading forward. Just to break it up now, Lance Whitnell has started in sensational form, but his midfield's really fed him beautifully here. Camporelli combining the great man Koutafidis, Ratton, Bradley, they've all had a fair bit of the ball in this first quarter, and they're just leading the charge here and giving Lance Whitnell every opportunity to kick his 3.
Adrian Hickman has been terrific too. 9 possessions, 6 of them hand passes, a couple of smothers, a couple of strong tackles. A real workhorse. Not a big name, but he gets the job done. A couple of weeks back against Melbourne, he kicked 5 goals. Koutafidis out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward. Whitnell's on fire. Koutafidis taken high. He was mugged by Bickley. Not sure it was intentional, and they come from everywhere. Wow.
The old coat hanger, Dennis. That one came out.
Yep.
That hurts if you caught one in the Adam's apple too, doesn't it, Dougie? You can't breathe too well.
He's coming quick too, wasn't he, Kuta?
He was indeed.
7 possessions already for Kuta.
And this not beyond him, directly in front from just outside the 50. 7-1 to 2 points. Will it be 8-1? Koutafidis, characteristically, almost tumbling away to his left, kicks a long bomb.
Well, he's gone to the superstar tag, no doubt about that. There was times where we thought he wasn't going to go to that level, but no doubt over the last 7 or 8 weeks, this man, Anthony Koutafidis, has lifted his work rate, and he got the ball out of the centre. He followed the football down, and his pickup at full flight was just absolutely first class. He is a first-class player, Anthony Koutafidis, and is on fire.
What about the Blues? Sluggish last week, sparkling this afternoon. 8-1 plays 2 points. Marsh and Houghton. Marsh, the taller man, backhands it down, knocked on by Rashudo. Well played by Fletcher to McKay. Camporelli, Bradley coming up to his 7th possession, feeds it back to the middle. McKay again, kicking it inside the 50. Whitnell, he stayed out of the contest. Hamill was up. Hamill slips it away, looking for Lappin on the siren. Blessed relief for the Adelaide Crows. And the Carlton fans saluting their team. The last 6 goals coming in just 12 minutes. And this game in danger of becoming a rout. Look at that scoreline. Carlton 8-1, Adelaide 2 points. Lance Whitnell has booted 3 goals, and Bradley, one of the key figures in their surge. That midfield got busy about halfway through the term. Initially it was tough. Carlton got a couple of early goals, but the Crows were holding their own, and suddenly the game was burst open. So those two men and those behind them have a lot to contemplate as they come out onto Optus Oval.
I just think they need a goal kicker too, Dennis, at the moment, as Paul Couch just mentioned, down their forward line. They've got to find someone down who can kick a goal and take the mark. They've gone inside 50 on 8 or 9 occasions.
So quarter time at Optus, it's 8-1 to 2 points.
I see you've purchased 2 new vehicles.
They've been absolutely sensational. Dennis and Camporelli's been good. Ratton started outside the square last week and he's been very, very busy. Bradley and Lance Whitnell started sensational. Carlton had 32 more possessions than Adelaide.
Anthony Koutafidis, 8 possessions to quarter time, and one of them, as a result of this tackle, takes the hand pass. Mark Bickley launches himself, and as a result, that's got to be, if it's 50 metres, the best part of 65. Hits the fence on the full, and he kicked from a long way out. The Brownlow favourite, we said that coming in. He's had a very good opening term.
Certainly has, Dennis, no doubt about that. And I think where the Adelaide Crows are getting chopped up as well is in the ruck. We touched on it a bit earlier. Big job for Brett Biglands, has got the job against Matthew Allen. Allen's been terrific. He's had 8 touches. He's had 5 marks as well, and been a very important player around the ground for the Carlton side.
Almost a Perth or Adelaide day now. The sun is shining. Mentioned the breeze before. It really isn't a factor in this game. It was simply Carlton's good play has got this lead on the board. I'd like to say to our viewers in Adelaide, it was a 9-goal breeze, and they've done well. Sorry. But who knows? Such are the vagaries of football. Start of the second term. Can they get back? This is where it starts, inside the centre square. Ratton in the foreground, issuing the instructions. Marsh comes on a long run. Ratton gets the footy, more of the same. McKay, who's in so quickly and so good, goes out wide to Bradley. And those three work it well together. McKay runs on. He'll get it back and can run inside the 50. Thinks about it, decides to go, spears it in. Hamill couldn't hang on. Back goes Connell. The meat and the sandwich. Loose ball in the shadows, about 35 metres out. Hamill got it to McKay. Arching the back, getting around was Camporelli, but running out of space. Smothered off the boot by Edwards.
I just know there's a long way to go before the end of the season, but the form that Craig Bradley is in, I think he's 37. There's no reason why Craig Bradley can't play next year. He's in great form once again. Champion.
Boundary throw in. Robert knocked it down in front. Koutafidis went to ground. Smart went over the top. Camporelli catches the outside of the boot. Rashudo comes across and punches the ball across the boundary line. Their play inside the centre square, Carlton, so far today has been superb. I mentioned Adelaide so good inside the centre square last week against Fremantle. Beaten at their own game today. And Andrew McKay, his ability to peel off that back line and get in and take that hand pass, almost have to block him on the line. Robran punches it back towards the boundary. Storming through is McLeod. It's a cross.
Looks like Gary Ayres, start of the second quarter, has pushed Brett Burton back forward, and we know quite well he can take a mark. Well, they certainly are falling down, particularly in that first quarter at centre-half forward.
Tossed in once more. Camped in front was Whitnell, taking the ball at the back. Koutafidis. There's McKay again. Slips the hand pass back. Not particularly decisive, though. Johnson did well initially. Taken a full rotation by Hickmont. Smart to Edwards. Edwards is away alongside the centre circle. Kicks inside the 50. Going back is Burton. Burton back after a hamstring injury and launching himself immediately. Great aerialist, this young man.
Yeah, just the man we touched on there, Dennis. No doubt about that, Brett Burton. He started the game on the bench, and as we said, that's where they've been falling down. And we know quite well he can take a mark, and he's a very good kick for goal normally.
They've got to change the mix on the forward line, and this man can well do that. Can they get their first goal? Burton back in the side, back amongst the goals from long range. Good kick.
On Today Tonight, getting the best mobile phone deals.
There certainly are savings to be had.
The expert computer program that can scan your phone account.
So these are all the hidden costs that people need to consider.
And tell which plan is the cheapest for you.
There's no one plan that's best for everybody.
Saving you a bundle on bills.
So you really need to have someone to advise you.
Plus the Adelaide contestants' final weigh-in.
Really pleased.
12 weeks battling for a new body. Now the winners and losers face our cameras.
Failed to complete it.
Next week.
Interesting now, McKay is inside the centre square to the right of the circle. You can see him there with his hands on his hips. So things changed a little bit in the middle. Houghton comes on the run, knocks at Goldwood. Back goes Smart. Gets the hand pass to Bickley in trouble. Lappin laying a strong tackle. Bickley got boot to ball just. Connell likewise in trouble. He was taking a revolution. Back comes Smart. Tracks it out towards the wing. Now Nigel Smart's away. Again a smother from Hickmott. He's a master at that. The ball's gone on about 15 metres. Coming up the ground, Vardy. McKay got him down. We are seeing a wonderful display of tackling from Carlton.
And smothering too, Dennis. That's been the real credit of Carlton this year. Just their work rate. McKay, great smother there. Chasing, tackling, harassing Adelaide into mistakes.
I called it Hickmott, so apologies to Andrew McKay. Scramble on the outer side. Back goes Goodwin. Gets it away. This is Burton. Hard against the line, pulling it back towards the middle. Jarman was up. Chance behind for Christou. Lost it. Jarman picks it up, kicks another one. That's better.
Well, two very important touches here for Brett Burton, as we said, started on the bench. Good vision by Burton here to centre the ball up inside 50 in the forward line. There's a man, Darren Jarman, we've seen so many times over many years, make something out of nothing. That occasion he did that again. Good football by Darren Jarman. He's a very important player. The job's been given to Stephen Silvani. So, I mean, you've got the Australian fullback, or the Century fullback, picking up Darren Jarman. It's a great goal by Darren Jarman.
So a glimmer of hope for Adelaide. Good start to this term, getting the opening 2 goals. And they're working hard.
Just trying to work out Dennis Matthew Allen. Looks like Houghton's gone in the ruck and Allen is starting on the bench in this quarter.
Houghton knocked it down too. Bradley had it, lost it. Spills wide of the pack. Franchina working in a confined space. Marsh tries to get it out of there. Camporelli does. McKay gets it to Franchina. Kicks inside the 50. Hamill knocked away by Hart. Well played by Hart. Great balance. Picks it up just outside the 50 and pops it up to Connell. Connell's at left half back. That was wonderful by Ben Hart. Kept his balance. Eyes on the footy. Connell's kick a floater up towards the wing. Christou punching away. Prosciutto across to Smart, the old firm. Now Johnson, the defensive side of the centre circle towards half forward. Beaumont is tracking Burton. Burton already in the action, making his presence felt. That's his 3rd kick, not his best effort. It wanders inside the 50. Rice is tackled by Vardy. And across the line it goes. Cavan arriving late.
Just reckon for the Crows to get back into this game. McLeod's only had the 3 touches. He's a very important player, as we know, in that midfielder. Mark Prosciutto's only had the 4 touches. Those 2 players must lift their work rate.
Silvani directs it down. Goodwin's in the road. Gets it across to Edwards. Taken front on by Ratton. Jarred out of there to Goodwin. He snaps and kicks their 3rd. Here come the Crows.
Oh dear, that's an awful centre bounce. Oh, how about that for a shocking pass? That's a blatant in the back. Oh no, he's hit the post.
At the end of the day, there's only one in the game that can be best and fairest. Find out why RAA Insurance is South Australia's #1 car insurer by calling 8202 4567 today.
8-1 plays 3-2 then. And the Crows with the first 3 goals of the term. But it's more the way they're getting them. Marsh goes up a post to Houghton, wins it down to Marsh. Koutafidis could have been held without it. Hamill tries to get through. Houghton's got the footy now across to Ratton. There was a slick handball that struck him. Down goes Hart. Koutafidis picks it up. Hand passes across towards Franchina. Knocked on by Merrington. A hand pass from Merrington. Bounces off Hume. Standing his ground was Bassett. Out of defence, Bickley. Back towards midfield. High bounce in midfield. Bradley trying to back out of the pack is tackled by Crowell. Taken by Christou. Wants his left side. Kicks it very high down towards half forward. Plenty of Crows there. Bassett with courage. Merrington couldn't control it. Johnson was taken high. No free kick. Play goes on. It's socket out eventually. The umpire's giving them plenty of time. McKay is dragged down. The hand pass came from Hickmott to Hume. Kicks inside the 50. Big punch away by Robran. Hickmott came again. Lost it. Hamill spins out of the pack. Got it across to Ratton. Dragged down by Goodwin. On his knees, Whitnell. Koutafidis carrying it like a loaf of bread. Lost it. Rashudo, Johnson's hand pass into the space. Now Connell, can he run onto it? He did. Stopped. Played it well. Hooked it back to the boys. Bassett comes to the middle with a hand pass. Robran chips it inside the 50. Jarman, awkward half volley. Taken down by Silvani. It's picked up there by Caven. High up and under. It wanders down towards the pocket. Edwards deep in the pocket, running out of space. Kept it in brilliantly. Tries to get it across to Vardy. Sliding in there was Rice. Comes back to Edwards. He's immediately claimed. And a whistle and a ball up in the pocket.
It was a hot ball the last couple of minutes there, and the tackle by Stephen Silvani on Darren Jarman was absolute ripper, it was. I mean, Jarman picked the ball up in full flight. Silvani just nailed him. It was a great tackle by Stephen Silvani.
Well, the pressure back on the Blues just for the moment. They're defending desperately. High kick from O'Reilly goes about 10 metres. Merrington knocks it down. It's taken by Camporelli. Back up towards the wing, it bounces. Ratton gets the hand pass away. Camporelli wedged against the line. Spots Whitnell. 3 goals in the opening term. He's got this one, the defensive side of the wing. Miscues completely. That was a very casual kick. Hard to Goodwin. They could ill afford that, the Blues. Goodwin pumps it back in again. Reaching over the top was Rice. Loose ball at the back. Here comes Burton. Deep in the pocket. You can see what he was thinking, but it wasn't a good idea.
And Simon Goodwin's picking up Brett Ratton now just to quell his influence in the first quarter.
What he should be thinking is, I wish I had a left foot. Trying to go with the outside of the right, but hardly an option in that situation with no space in which to operate. Still, it's on the forward line for the Crows. Tossed in. Caven reaching over the top. Down goes Edwards, I think it is, at the base of all of that. Or is it Crowell? It's Crowell who fights back. They lock it up. Bounce.
Big problem for Carlton at the moment with Matthew Allen off the ground. I mean, his first quarter was brilliant. He was the best big man on the ground by a mile. He's on the bench now. It looks like Trent Houghton is doing all the ruck work for the Carlton side.
They did that last week and it worked, but today it's hurt them. They like that mobility in midfield on occasions, but at the moment it's not working. Beaumont goes up, does the ruck work and smashes it out of bounds. 8-1, 3-2 at quarter time. It was 8-1 to 2 points.
So you're suggesting here, Dennis, it may be a team plan? It's not an injury to Matthew Allen?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Well, they did it last week, didn't they?
Yep, they did it last week.
And he played well, Houghton, around the ground particularly. Almost prepared to sacrifice it in the centre, but they shouldn't be doing that today because the centre's been really orchestrating things for them. Houghton's got a free kick, speak of the devil. Goes across the ground towards O'Reilly. He's up from the back pocket, O'Reilly. Not much happening down the ground. Goes for distance towards half forward. Not a bad target, but Smart did brilliantly. Stepped around Koutafidis and took the mark. He was trailing him initially, backed himself against the ball and did remarkably well. When you consider the quality of the opposition, Smart, marvellous stop for Adelaide right there. Comes across the ground, intended for Goodwin. He can take it and go on his left side. Nothing much down the ground for him either. Coming on the lead down there eventually was Caven. But the Blues have got the numbers. Rice needs some help. Comes back to Whitnell. Whitnell's at right half back, taking a while. Kicks it up towards the wing. Marsh got a fingertip to it. Waiting behind Rashudo. Back come the Crows again. Oh, great courage. Great courage by Hickmott. Gets it to McKay, sweeping behind again, across to Whitnell. Whitnell comes to half forward. Koutafidis turns the tables, takes the mark. He's about 75 metres out from goal. Blues by 29 points. Plenty of Crows back there, a whistle, and a free kick is going to Adelaide and will be taken by Hart. Wasting no time. Suddenly a lot of verve in the football of the Crows. Edwards pulls it back to the middle. Precise kick needed to be, and it was. Rodman's got it, forward of half back.
Gee, great mark a minute ago by Adrian Hickmott to set that attack up for the Carlton side. Great courage by him.
Johnson around the outer side. Things looking much better for the Crows at the moment. Kicks down towards the 50. Vardy comes up to Crowell. Crowell hard against the boundary line. Pulls it back. Jarman's in front. Been tackled in mid-air by Silvani. Nothing doing. Camporelli gets it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly clears the zone momentarily. Johnson goes over the top of Hickmott. Knocked it away. This is Burton on the crumbs. Goes with the left. He's got a left. That was good. It came to Edwards. Edwards down towards half forward. Incessant pressure at the moment is coming from the Crows. Chips it to Robran.
Well, you think the distance, we no problem here. We saw Lance Whitnell go down into the fence for the Carlton side to bring the ball out. No doubt he's going down and doing that role, which has forced Robert now to come down the ground. So I think he'd be productive on Couchy.
Yeah, no, it's a lot better, Dougie, that setup.
What a transformation has come over this game. It's all the Adelaide Crows now. And Carlton, in boxing parlance, on the ropes and hanging on. Robren from 55 metres out gives it a ride, and he misses to the left-hand side.
It's just the midfield of Carlton have just dropped off here. Camporale, Bradley was good early. Goodwin's doing a good job on Ratner.
Bristow up the middle, pinpoints it nicely. Hickmott, what a player he's developed into. Breaks away and kicks down towards half forward. Whitnell just slipping away from Bassett. Kept his feet, tracks it out towards the boundary. Bassett goes after him. Whitnell looks back towards the middle. Hickmott again.
Sensational, Adrian Hickmott there to kick the ball to Lance Whitnell, push up for the second effort. Bassett made the fatal mistake there, went to ground. Whitnell knew he had a space and time, looked up and saw Hickmott.
Vardy off the ground now, boys. Rice has done a terrific job on Vardy. He's only had the one touch, and Brett James is on for his first run going to a half-forward flank.
Hickmott coming up for his 13th possession. A kick from just outside the 50. Miscues completely. Going back is James, got a fist on it. Plenty of throws around the footy. Rashudo emerges with it out of the back pocket. Swings it wide, looking for the boundary. Will it run on? It's close. It's out. It was a very intelligent kick, as it turned out. Looked up, saw nothing. Apart from Fletcher. So he kicked it out on the bounce. Robren and Houghton. An experiment so far that hasn't worked for the Blues. They lock up over the top. Koutafidis falls in front. Robren goes after it, digs it out. Ratton relishing that situation, gains about 25 metres. It's out of bounds once more. We're talking about Adelaide doing so well in this term, but bear in mind they still trail by 28 points, legacy of a very bad start in the opening term. Tossed in once more, some firepower on the bench, but they need some fight out there in the middle at the moment. Not so much finesse as Ratton goes wide. This is Bradley, hard against the boundary line, hooks it along the line, and it bounces out of bounds 30 metres closer to the Blues' goal.
Obviously Matthew Allen must be injured. He hasn't been on. Hasn't been on for the last 10 minutes, Dougie.
Too bad we haven't got a Paul Counts down on the boundary. Don't want that roll. No volunteers.
It's too cold down there.
Hamill slaps it down towards the 50. Fletcher spins around, kicks, going back. Rashudo takes the mark, close to the behind post. Now switches play. McLeod's away. He can run virtually the length of Optus Oval if he wants to. It's still McLeod. Nobody near him. A third bounce. Have a fourth. You can take a fifth if you want it. Decides to kick now and finds Burton. Terrific stuff. Rashudo switching play. McLeod galloping away. And now Burton, can he finish?
Yeah, I just thought Dennis was a big job at the start of the game for young Hume. Hume's only had the one kick, but he's done his job so far. McLeod's only had the 4 touches, so fair to say Hume's winning that contest.
Burton going for his second goal, and he's got it.
It's something we'll witness only once in a lifetime. An epic journey that begins at Uluru and travels across Australia to Sydney. Now you can follow the flame with the 2000 Olympic Torch Relay Starter Pin Kit. Collect all the pins as you trace this historic journey. To get you started, the album and first pin are free. The commemorative 2000 Olympic Torch Relay Starter Pin Kit, only in the Advertiser and Sunday Mail.
So that's a moral victory as far as Adelaide are concerned. McKay has shifted on to Burton, and Burton playing deep, so he takes McKay effectively off the line of the square and or out of the centre square if that's where they want to play him. There's the bounce. Marsh goes up and spikes it out wide. McKay will be in the action with Burton right here. Got a fingertip to it. Coming through was Ratton. Going down on the outer side was a blue, and that was Mansfield who's been introduced. Camporale
He's come on
run with it, but it's coming back to Ratton. Sorry, Paul.
He's come on for Beaumont. Michael Mansfield.
Brett Ratton. Kicking down towards half forward. Smart doing a pretty good job on Koutafidis. Knocked it away. There's Mansfield. Collides with Koutafidis. Comes back to Bradley now. Bradley kicks inside the 50. Well played by Robren. Timely fist. Waiting in front is Fletcher. 45 metres out. Can he kick a goal? No, he's off target. Tracking it back is McLeod. Not required. Behind. So Anything under 20 would be a good situation for Adelaide at half-time if that's the deficit, but of course it could be much better. Still 7 3/4 minutes to go in this term, and the way they're playing, they could get 2 or 3 more goals, provided, of course, they can hold Carlton. Bickley goes down. Strong tackle got him down. That was Hamill. Socket out of there by Connell. Picked up by Houghton. Well played. Into the path of Whitnell. Got an unkind bounce. Took him away from goal. 60 metres out. Sets it up. They come from all directions. Camped in front, the smallest man, Hume. Hand pass comes from Houlihan. Down goes Merrington. Hume gives it across to Hamill. Hamill snaps, and they needed that one. His second.
Well, I always thought that you had to take your new car back to the dealer to get it serviced. But this friend of mine said that she gets hers serviced at UltraTune. They use all of the right parts and the price is fixed. Hey, they sound pretty good to me.
Would be fair to say fairly even.
Just get the feeling this next goal is very important. 9-2-4-3. Carlton mustering one there against the flow. Rucks go at it. One down by Houghton. Wide at the pack, Ratton kicking down towards half forward. Loose ball. Hume slid in, missed it. McLeod leads back, coming up the medium. Franchina got it brilliantly there, did McLeod. It spilled across to Rashudo. Kicks it out wide. Edwards got a fingertip to it. Couldn't control it. Houlihan. Mansfield had to stop. Eventually hurries the kick to half forward. Going back and taking a timely defensive mark is McLeod. McLeod plays it short to Johnson.
McLeod's playing half back and Rashudo's playing in the back pocket.
Kane Johnson going for distance around the outer side. Burton comes in a long lead and takes the mark on his chest. Hasn't he made a difference? Burton just forward of the wing. 56 plays 27. Centering kick from Burton. O'Reilly comes hard, loose at the back. Getting back down there is Fletcher. Costa is with him, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, no disrespect here to Anthony Franchina, but why would you have Mark Rashudo, your brilliant midfielder who's has the ability to win the ball at the midfield, playing on the back pocket? I just thought you'd send Rashudo forward and put Franchino there, and even McLeod to go forward to force you to play him as well.
Houghton knocks it down. Camporelli tackled by Costa immediately. Ball is in there somewhere.
Dougie, they're two best on balls, and McLeod and Rashudo are playing in the forward 50 for Carlton.
It's amazing that would even happen. Unbelievable.
Bucks go at it again. It's tapped down by Marsh, but
they've played very well on the back lines for Adelaide over the past years, but if they need to attack and win this game, Adelaide, they've got any chance.
That's the matchup. Ed Smart has done best there at the moment. Johnson comes away. Great pressure got him down. That was Houlihan. Affected the kick. It went out of bounds on the full in the pocket. There's Koutafidis pushing up. Gets it from Silvani, who offers some advice. Tells him to switch, I think, and he does that. Hamill made to earn it by Hart, who arrived a step late. Aaron Hamill in the back pocket. Goes across towards O'Reilly, needs a kind bounce and got it. Still in his own defensive 50. Decides to take the big man on. That's Marsh. Has a bounce, comes away. Kicks it wide towards the wing. Bradley, it bounced on its point. Costa tracking Camporelli. Strong tackle. Took the body. Was buying no dummies out there. Over the ball is Bradley, and it's going to be a free kick to Bradley. Don't ask me why, but he's away. Bradley, little chip pass. Mansfield gathers it on the half volley, about 80 metres from goal. Very high up and under. Whitnell comes at it. She's a young champion. Lance Whitnell.
Reminds you a bit of Mark McClure playing at centre half forward for Carlton. Just his great body work again by Whitnell here. Read the ball beautifully through the air, and he's going for his 4th goal. He's already kicked 3.
I think we're all saying, how did he mark that? That was just an absolute ripper.
He's a good player. Kicking at his 4th. They need it. He's provided a spark, involved in both their goals.
Tuesday, it's a bathroom blitz.
See, it's a fairly common problem.
We show you the do's and don'ts in cost-saving bathroom renovations and a tasty traditional Italian dish.
Don't leave out the olives.
On Better Homes and Gardens, 7:30. Then at 8, explore a Mediterranean hideaway that's miles from care. Corsica is paradise found.
It is $1 million view.
And dive into Mexico's Cozumel Island for a sun-drenched winter escape on the Great Outdoors Tuesday.
So Carlton steadying like a good team, getting the goals they needed to take the air out of the Adelaide balloon. Goodwin trying to get through there, but going nowhere, and the umpire wants it. Jarman watching.
I reckon Mashudo might be injured. He's playing down there in the back pocket.
Biglands was up that time. Koutafides cross to Bradley. Bradley kicks it down towards half-forward. Johnson did well. Stepped around Houlihan to take the mark on his chest. Dane Johnson edging off the mark, told to play on. Houlihan slipped, helped Johnson a bit. Johnson run down by Houlihan though. Pretty indecisive stuff. Up goes Hamill, drops it back to Houlihan. He slipped, tries to give it across to Camporelli. Hume in trouble, shrugs a tackle, concedes back to Houghton. Houghton kicks, not a particularly good kick, or was it? Well, it didn't spin too well, but it was effective. It found Whitnell on the lead. He's just so deceptive for a big man. He's the total package.
Well, it was just a turnover there by Kane Johnson. He hasn't played a lot of footy. Doesn't know where you lose your awareness around the ground, and that's what happened there. Just a tackle, the turnover come, and it was great work by Houghton to push up and spot Lance Whitnell, who's going for his fifth.
Whitnell always plays in front. That's a beauty about his game.
He kicks from 40. Trying to work it right to left, and he's done it.
Since time began, man has struggled to settle an age-old debate. Cat or dog?
And Sunday, we tackle the big question.
Which is going to make the best pet?
Harry's Practice, Sundays, 6:30. Then, wakey wakey. Sunday, if you thought people did the funniest things, you're wrong. From paranoid pussies to pinball-loving puppies, you'll see the craziest pets on World's Funniest Sunday.
Yeah, I think there might be the blood rule here. Looks like Simon Goodwin's coming off the ground, and you're right, Couchy. The call you called for has happened now. It looks like Robin's been moved away from Whitnell, and Peter Caven has been given the job on Lance Whitnell.
Just thinking back to last Sunday night, this is the game between Adelaide and Fremantle in reverse. It's happening to Adelaide this week.
Well, they've only played in the last 4 weeks Melbourne, Sydney, Richmond and Fremantle, Adelaide, and they haven't played a real quality side, Dennis, at the top 4 or 5. You know, Richmond's probably the only one, but Sydney and Fremantle, Melbourne's your 7th and 8th side, so they haven't played a quality opposition like Carlton, who do really tackle and chase and work hard for 100 minutes of the game.
Jarman back on. This last week, it was Adelaide who got the fast start. Fremantle had their best period, really, just after quarter time, and then Adelaide powered away again. Well, that's been the story here. 11-2, 4-3. Lance Whitnell has got 5 goals. And in the bright sunshine, it's one down by Merrington. Coming through is Hickmott, scrambling it towards half-forward. Lapping across to Bradley. Bradley runs to 50. Checks, goes in short. O'Reilly had it knocked away by Hart. Roving the pack is McLeod. His kick comes out very wide and bounces, first bounce across the line.
Centre clearance is 10 to Carlton, 5 to Adelaide. It's dominating the midfield.
Boundary throw in. Merrington and Biglands. Biglands two-handed. Camporelli ran into a dead end. Taken by James. He of the good hands got it away to Smart. Smart runs away from half-back, kicking down towards half-forward. Over the back, Burton almost. Tracks the loose ball. Burton hurriedly looking for that left boot. Down towards the pocket he goes. McKay right there with him. And the former South Australian content to slide across the line with him.
Yeah, big boy Andrew Merrington now has gone into the ruck playing his first game here for the Carlton side. In old terms, he would be 6'5", and it appears so far to have a very bright future for the Carlton side.
Merrington and Biglands again. Biglands in front, almost clean possession. Welsh gets through. Another brilliant smother, this time from Christou. Socket away by Bradley towards the boundary. Does it stay in? It does. Burton runs onto it. Bradley runs onto him. Burton gets the hand pass away. Well played on the outer side. They've strung it together pretty well. Back it comes, and Jarman takes the mark. Diving low down. Vardy working in a confined space with Burton. Between the pair of them, they beat 3, and now Jarman's got the footy, only about 25 metres out.
You called that beautifully, Dennis. It's a great play there to keep that ball alive with Peter Vardy to the underground handball to get it across to Burton. And once again, Jarman, by playing in front, he's been rewarded and should kick this goal.
Well, they need it. Darren Jarman, 33 goals for the season. He's got it.
Well, he doesn't miss too many, Darren Jarman. He's kicked 2 in this quarter. It's off the ground, on the ground. Burton's been very good here. Carlton made the mistake here, though. 3 players went at the one Adelaide player and left Burton on his own there. Not smart play. One should have been back onto Burton, and that wouldn't have happened. But Jarman in front, read the ball beautifully off the boot. And he's got a hard job against Stephen Silvani today. But he's kicked 2, which is not a bad effort against Silvani.
So the clock is running down to half-time, just as you can see, 53 seconds to go. 11-2, 5-3. Can the Crows grab another late one here? It would help them immeasurably going in at half-time. Hickmott has other ideas, comes back to Silvani. Silvani hooks it down towards half-forward. In front, Lappin to Camporelli. Camporelli inside the centre square, kicks inside the 50. Houghton couldn't control it initially. Finds it on the ground. They stay off him. Turns around and hits the post. Whoa. Off the boot. It always looked the goal, but right over the last 10 metres, it got the staggers.
Sorry, Couch. You just thought the handball was here to Matthew Lappin. He decided not to give it out. Good sidestep here, and that could have been a great goal. Would have been Houghton's second goal if he'd kicked that one.
Almost hit the back of the post. Caven takes the mark. McLeod on the burst. Down towards half-forward and Smart. Clock is running. It's down to 15 seconds. Robran about 65 metres out. Spears the pass into Welsh. And Welsh has taken the mark about 40 metres out. It was interesting. They had so much firepower about 10 minutes ago sitting on the bench. He was one of them. Vardy another. Jarman another. These players have come back and actually had a hand in these late goals. Now, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Provided Welsh can kick a goal here. It'll take a good kick. 34 goals for the season, 4 last week against Fremantle. He's kicking after the siren. Such an important kick, this one. Welsh, magnificent kick, splits the middle. That should help morale. Well, it hasn't been easy for Adelaide, but they've had their moments to start this term and to finish it. Carlton came back strongly. The margin was 47 points at quarter time, 8-1 to 2 points. Now it's back to 30. So I suppose they'd be very happy, well, pretty happy, let's say, with that. And there's a man who really had an impact. Brett Burton on the forward line. Half-time, 11-3, plays 6-3. Adelaide looking for 5 straight. Half-time 11-3, plays 6-3. Just looking around, Caven is back on Whitnall at the moment. At the other end of the ground, McKay still has Burton. Start of the second half, Adelaide with some work to do. First bounce, Houghton has to wait. Robran had the run, Houghton knocked it down. James, high up and under, goes about 30 metres. Clever mark is taken by Rice. Eyes only for the footy. Goes across the ground. Hickmott, star of the first half, kicks well inside the 50. Whitnall gets rid of Caven. Loose ball at the back. Bickley leads back. He's got support. Gets it across to James. Advantage is paid. That confused James a little bit. Caven and James work a little 1-2. Connell back to James, racking up the stats. Kicks towards midfield. Mansfield, though, takes the mark. Mansfield with Hickmott on, ignores that. Thought about it. Kicks inside the 50 again. McLeod has a look around, decides he'll have to go. He's it. Hume tries to trap it for Camporelli. Costa's got it. Spots the boundary line. Not enough oomph. Camporelli missed it. Picked up by O'Reilly. Feeds it back to Hickmott. Hickmott, the centering kick. Houghton goes up off his fingertips. Loose ball in the square. Hamill wanted it most on his knees. Houghton has it charged down, knocked across the line by Caven. Like a bad sitcom.
Hickmott's had 17 possessions, 8 kicks, 9 handballs. Ratton had 18 in the first half. And Matthew Allen must be injured because he hasn't returned to the ground since the first quarter.
There's no doubt about that, Couchy. That is a big problem for Carlton, particularly with him off the ground. When they want to take on the heavyweights like the Kangaroos and the Essendons, young Mark Porter, I think, played in the seconds and got through the game okay.
Kick in just outside the 50. James could have been held without it. Smart's over it. On his knees is Ratton looking for options. Down goes Johnson, trying to kick it out of there, I think was Bickley. Big groan goes around the ground. It didn't come out. Ratton was at the base of it again. Ball up.
Rasciuto still playing in the back pocket, playing on Anthony Francina, who's probably tagging Rasciuto.
Bouncing about 40 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. Hot and clean possession. Koutafidis nicely done. Ratton getting around. Pushed off the kick though by Smart. It was good pressure. Plenty of blues back. The bounce is stifled there by Rice, who played it well. Got it across to Christou. Now Silvani. They're sacrificing ground here, but not for long. McKay. O'Reilly, who's a long kick alongside the centre circle. Down towards full forward. Great mark is taken by Houghton. All eyes, I'm sure, at the ground on Koutafidis. He was third in line, but Houghton came back and took a terrific grab.
Well, they talk about John Barnes for Essendon being one of the recruits of the year, but this fellow, Trent Houghton, he was at East Burwood last year, and he's absolutely playing sensational.
East Burwood must have given the premiership a shake. That's all I can say. 20 metres out, but he's kicked it.
Sunday on 7.
Ooh.
There is no limit to his phenomenal talent.
Man, I would love to get my hands on your carburetor.
I bet you would.
What's happening to him is beyond your wildest dreams.
You learned the Portuguese language in 20 minutes?
Not all of it.
John Travolta in a feel-good movie you'll wish would never end.
Did you feel that?
Feel what?
Phenomenon. Sunday on 7.
So Carlton starting this term well, starting the half well, as they did the first half. 12-4-6-3. Robran gets high this time and knocks it down. Well played again by Koutafidis. Got it back. Battle there between Johnson and Hickmott. Knocked across towards Goodwin eventually. He bursts out of the centre. Kicks well inside the 50. Down towards the shaded area. Beaumont got a first on it. At the back, Burton taken down by Rice. It was a great tackle. Should have been holding the ball. Play goes on. And now the umpire decides on a ball up.
I thought it was holding the ball too, Dennis. He had prior opportunity here. Tried to take him on a little bit. Should have flicked the handball out. Had chances.
Like one of those slow release puddings. There's the bounce about 25 metres out. Slapped down by O'Reilly towards the boundary. Jarman did well. Cleared a path there for Burton, who snaps, but kicks only a behind.
And Rasciuto McLeod is still in the back line for Adelaide. They're two good on ballers who set the play up. McLeod with his vision still playing on the half back line against Darren Hume.
Christou kicks off, pinpoints it nicely. This is O'Reilly. No doubt keen to cement a regular spot in this team. Not easy to do the way they're playing. Kicks it up towards the wing. Smart knocked it away from Koutafidis. In trouble close to the boundary line was James. And now the ball goes out. Just taking a little too long there. Brett James.
Koutafidis had 16 possessions, 6 kicks, 10 handballs, and his opponent in Nigel Smart 7 kicks, 4 handballs. So it's a pretty even contest there.
Came back late in that second term, Koutafidis, to perhaps just edge Smart in their duel, but it's been one of the highlights of the game so far, as is the performance of this man, Hickmott. Well taken. Bit of a party trick from Kane Johnson. Was resting on his shoulder. Ratton comes away from half-back, boots it back up towards the wing. In from the side, McLeod. Hamill had it knocked away by Hart. Roving is Hume. Mansfield. Bradley did brilliantly. Sold into trouble. Made light of it. Comes away. Camporelli. Camporelli runs into his teammate, or more correctly, Mansfield ran into him. Now he's run down from behind. Hume slipped over. They've made a mess of it, the Blues. McLeod slips over. That was dangerous right on the boundary line. It must be very slippery down there. Camporelli went to ground. In comes Hamill. He's tackled by Costa, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Well, must have the moulded stops on down that bit of action. Here we see Camporelli slip over. There's Mickey Mansfield. Mickey Mansfield caught the handball 2 or 3 occasions. Wasn't wasn't given to him, so he decided to get it himself.
I think they brought the turf from Colonial and relayed it down here on the half-forward flank. Hand pass comes from Hart to Rashudo. Goodwin. Stengline gets it back to Goodwin. Now James is away, forward of the wing. He kicks inside the 50. Welsh comes up to meet it, fell over. Rice goes in. Edwards slipped over. Lappin did well, got it to Beaumont. His long hands, ill-directed. James gets it to Goodwin, who prods it. Did it go the 10? The umpire says yes. I think the number on Roberin's back convinced him. The ball goes across the ground, and the mark is taken here by Welsh directly in front. And he will kick from about 40.
I think you called that right, Dennis. I don't think that was 10 metres, the short pass there from Goodwin to find Robin. I reckon it's probably 4 or 5 metres out tops.
Still, Welsh has got the footy, and he will kick at his second goal. Got one after the siren, a beauty from long range, split the middle. So seems to be kicking okay today, although hasn't had a lot of them. Another important kick. They've got to take their chances. Welsh tugs it to the left and behind.
Dennis, one of their good players who's been sensational for Adelaide is Mark Rashudo's average 28 possessions. Has only got 10 at this stage, 7 kicks and 3 handballs.
Rice to the pocket. Silvani gallops away, kicks it up towards the wing. This will be interesting. Hart has done well on Hamill, knocked it down to the advantage of Jarman. Jarman comes back to James, clever. James to Jarman. Jarman kicks it up towards the 50. In front is over the top. Burton, a magnificent mark.
The Birdman.
Out of nowhere.
That is just a huge mark, and it didn't look like getting anywhere near that, Brett Burton. I thought Silvani will just either take the mark or the ball be knocked out of bounds. That was just an absolute rip snort of that.
It was over Silvani. There's the kick from Burton then from just outside the 50. Fist from Christou back across the line.
Smart fist too by Christou. Good right punch. He's a left-handed player, but it's a good punch.
Here we are once again, the Brett Burton hanger. We've seen him do so many times over the years. That was a brilliant mark by him. Terrific grab.
All about vertical leap, just went straight up in effect. Steve Silvani.
Used to do that Dougie all the time.
Now, Koutafidis is going to get a free kick at left half back after Bradley's kick in. Koutafidis plays on. Christou from half back then. Drives it towards half forward. Hart did well, reaching over the top. Stengline gets the hand pass away. Caven towards half forward. Christou, awkward bouncing ball taken by Burton. Burton kicks inside the 50. Beaumont goes back and does very well. Beaumont chips it across the goal face. O'Reilly's got it now in the opposite pocket. Stephen O'Reilly with Houghton breaking for him. He kicks in that direction. Houghton needs a kind bounce, consumed a bit of time. Now he's got a problem. He was taken down. Crowell got him, but the umpires decided it was held to him.
Could have played it a bit smarter there, Houghton. He could have knocked the ball on. Didn't have to take possession there. He was hot there, just didn't read the play right.
Bounce on the outer side wing. O'Reilly goes up and slaps at Goldwood for the Blues. Running onto it, Houghton. Hard man to match up on. This is where he's valuable. His mobility, kicking down a half forward. Hickmott missed it. It runs on, stays in initially, gained about 15 metres, but then goes out.
McLeod now's gone to full forward for Adelaide Crows. His opponent in Hume. So I like that situation for Gary Ayres, particularly with the balls quickly moved into the forward line with a chance to be one-on-one. I'd back McLeod probably 9 times out of 10.
Boundary throw in just outside the 50 then for the Carlton side. Haven't done a lot of attacking. Hamill comes through, gets it away. Lappin inside the 50, pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Smart hanging off Koutafidis, taken by Whitnell across to Franchina under pressure. Got past Rashudo, who didn't tackle. Advantage was paid. Franchina kicks the goal.
Here's a family working on a playhouse.
I'm out of nails, Case.
Crikey, Dad, we've got to get it finished soon.
And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Dad's giving me an example here.
They're 50mm galvanised.
All the advice you need.
Yeah, good old flatheads. What else will I be needing?
Accent Solar's the go. Protects against UV rays. No primer required.
From a store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Here's to the future.
Well, looks like now Mark Rasciuto's gone forward. We've got McLeod in the goal square and Mark Rasciuto going forward. I like this setup. Gary Ayres, a very good move by him.
So the roles reversed and Franchina can take a crack at him. Here's Houghton out of the middle, gets the hand pass across to Bradley. Bradley running down towards half forward, sets it up. Koutafidis and Smart. Umpire lets them play. They've got the odd number down there, and that works to the Crows' advantage. Bickley kicks it out wide, taken by Goodwin. Goodwin pumps it up towards the wing. Bounces in open space, arriving quickly. Beaumont settles. Comes back to Houghton, having an influence here. Houghton kicks towards half forward. Lappin, juggled attempt. As a result, Edwards shown a bit of it. Couldn't control it though. Mansfield, Hamill smothered off the boot by Crowell. Comes across to Ratton, pokes it about 5 metres. Connell's in the road, kicks it only as far as Houghton. It'll come back. O'Reilly wants it long. It goes in that direction. Lovely kick, and O'Reilly's got it on the 50. Distance not beyond him. Will he go for the kick-off line? Yes, a centering kick. Hamill in front. Koutafidis drifting in behind. Uncontested.
Just a big difference in the game so far with Houghton going onto the ball into a ruck. He's been terrific. He's had 16 touches now, 5 marks and kicked 2 goals. And that's been the difference with Matthew Allen off the ground after quarter time. Allen's the best player, best big man on the ground at quarter time.
That's the trade-off, isn't it? You risk losing in the centre, but it pays off around the ground, provided he gets enough of it. Koutafidis 20 metres out. Kicks the goal.
We live hundreds of k's from the nearest children's hospital. When we first found out that Jamie would need constant specialist treatment, we didn't know how we'd cope, really. We wanted to be with him all the time and wanted to be there for him.
Among its programs for seriously ill children, Ronald McDonald House Charities provide a home away from home, where families can stay near to their kids. So to help them and other special children, visit McDonald's during McHappy time.
14-4 to 6-6, just over 10 minutes till three-quarter time. So this one is rapidly getting away from Adelaide. Houghton, at the second attempt, trying to grab it. Really tough in there.
And it's good to see, Dennis, that Mark Rasciuto's gone on the ball. You've got to back your players in. If they've had 28 possessions average, you just got to let them play. Play footy. Franchina's a good tagger, but you just got to let them play. They're the good players that are going to win the game for you, not in the back line.
Bounce alongside the centre circle. Robran had the run that time, trying to force a passage. Rasciuto. Stenglein need it towards half forward. Comes to James. James goes wider to Welsh. Gets around Bradley. Hooks it back. Good looking effort. Kick. Lovely kick on the run. He's got 2.
Well, it all started in the centre bounce here for the Adelaide Crows. It looks like now maybe Matthew Robin has gone into the ruck. As Couchy said, Mark Rasciuto's gone into the centre square. Robin, good tap out. Rasciuto was pushing the ball forward. And once again, we see James, who I look like might be tagging Craig Bradley now, and Welsh kicking his second goal and being a natural right foot on the wrong side of the body. 45-metre goal. It's a brilliant goal by Scotty Welsh.
Can they string a few together now? Margin 40 points. It was 30 at half-time, so got some ground to make up. Houghton comes with the run, knocks it down. Edwards gets the hand pass away. Nicely done. Costa. Rasciuto into the path of Connell, tracking it down towards half forward. Hand passes inside the 50. Here's a chance. The ball comes across to Jarman from James. Run down. In goes James again. Socket off the ground. McKay. Crowd want a free kick. Not given. Towards the opposite pocket. They've got problems. Eventually, it's McLeod. McLeod also outnumbered. Gets a hand pass away. Bradley. Back comes McLeod. Knocked out of there by Christo. And Bradley's got the footy. Just chips it outside the 50. Bickley came in strongly. He's been taken high. He's hurt. And he's going to get the free kick outside the 50. Mark Bickley.
It was a great tackle by Michael Mansfield down there on Darren Jarman, but he was at fault at the start. When the ball came out of the centre square there, he was behind his man, Tyson Edwards. And there you see the hit on Bickley there, free kick high.
Bickley sets it up then. Up goes Burton, arriving late with Silvani to knock it down. Camporelli got the hand pass across to Beaumont. Beaumont kicks to midfield looking for Ratton, judged it brilliantly. Nobody forward of them, so Ratton had to stop, come across the ground. Whitnell, outnumbered, in trouble, flips it back to O'Reilly. Now a man is moving inside the 50. One player is inside the 50. It's a Carlton player, Hume. If they can get the ball to him, they're on. Adelaide is storming back now. Franchina's got it outside the 50. Taken by Hickmott, who pulls it back. The Crows have got back. Koutafidis comes hard. Connell takes the mark, camped in front. Well, that was amazing. Ratton got the ball in the centre, looked up, and there was nobody, not one player, either team, within 70 metres of Carlton's attacking goal. Edwards up from the back pocket. Hamill comes hard, knocks it away from Hart. In comes Ratton. Mansfield gained about 10 metres. Crowds over the ball, played it cleverly. Stenglide, hand passes to Jarman. Jarman under pressure. Christou, no free kick. He was tackled in mid-air. Coming through was Houghton, back to Christou. Franchina's got it on the wing. Kicks down towards half forward. A lot of body work down there. Caven got a fist on it. Full-chested. Hickmott tried to go through. Taken by Koutafidis. Bradley is going back. Can he get there? Stifles the bounce, but to the advantage of James. Bradley was up very quickly. James wasn't expecting him so soon. He was dragged down. Edwards kicks it over the head of Hart. Koutafidis will take the free. Wonderful by Bradley to get back into it.
You can see the desperation in his eyes when he was close to goal, Dennis. He just did everything there. It's great work, Bradley.
Koutafidis looking for Whitnell. Over the top, Marsh. Hume hits it hard, gets the crumb, kicks the goal.
Well, that was just a typical Rovers goal there for young Hume. I mean, he's got the job on Andrew McLeod. He's been absolutely fantastic, Darren Hume. It's only that'll be his first goal in this game, but it's just a brilliant roving performance by him. Looks like now he's coming from the ground. As I said, he's done a terrific job on Andrew McLeod. McLeod's only had the 9 touches. Now it's just a typical Rovers goal. Brilliant football by him. And as before, we see Craig Bradley, not only can he win the football, he does do the 1%. It's a great tackle before.
Well, so far the Blues have had all the answers. 15-4. 7-6, so 15-4, very straight kicking by Carlton on top of everything else. Attitude and straight kicking generally wins most footy matches. Camporelli out of the centre, down towards half forward. O'Reilly had it knocked away, and again it was slapped across half back by Goodwin. Well played by Connell, deflecting it down to Smart. Smart goes towards half forward, almost the clever mark out there to Robran, picked up brilliantly by Welsh. Comes back to James. James wider still. Welsh quickly to his feet. Chips inside the 50. Christou with courage knocks it outside the 50. Taken by Ratton, slipped over, but not before he got it to Merrington. Merrington's kick rather indecisive around the outer side, spinning out of trouble James. Got it across to Connell. James slaps it out of there back towards the middle. Edwards waits, gets by one tackler and is second. Rashudo smothered off the ball. He butters up again. Coming through strongly down there was James. He went to ground. Backing out of the pack was Mansfield. Diving in there was Hamill. Hickmott's over the ball. Rashudo's over him. And it's not coming out. Well, it may come out. Well, that's amazing.
Oh, look at this.
It's a kinder rugby, and the umpire finally blows the whistle. And is roundly booed by the crowd. And I'm with the crowd.
Well, he's let the game go here. He just hopes someone can get the footy out on this occasion.
Should have been pinged Adrian Hickmott, shouldn't he?
He's been good, Hickmott.
Yep.
I just think he's a terrific year so far. Hickmott's had 21 touches and played a really great game he has.
Franchina moved it about 5 metres. Hamill, a very high kick towards the wing. Hickmott, almost a spectacular mark. Coming through is Caven. Caven's hand pass around the boundary, taken by Goodwin, spears the pass towards the 50, and Robran low down takes the mark, plays on quickly. This is Tyson Edwards, runs inside the 50, lines up on goal and misses comprehensively.
Probably ran a little bit too far on that occasion, I thought, Tyson Edwards, and just the last minute probably didn't kick. Oh no, he was well balanced up, just the kick wasn't the right kick to kick for a goal there.
Didn't trust himself, Dougie.
No, he didn't back himself that last ball bit.
Adelaide getting a free kick.
That's a beauty.
On the 50, it seemed the other way as the kick comes down at full forward, and Burton takes another great grab. Well, there's a message here for the future.
Got to start Burton on the ground. I think he kicked 2 good goals in that second term. been really their only foot up there can take a mark so far today.
Demand's being watched. Banana kick looks pretty good. It's a goal.
Have you taken care of your health cover?
I've got extras, but I need hospital now.
Why not a package?
Really?
There's so much you get with it. You get packages for families, couples, singles.
It sounds expensive.
No, less than you think.
How do you know?
Just called 1-800-188-188.
I feel better now.
15-4, 8-7. I think Jarman was a bit lucky to get that kick, but he crashed into Christou and inadvertently an arm went over the shoulder, but there was nothing much to it. And Christou, I don't think, knew he was coming. Out at the centre, Koutafidis kicks it down towards half forward. Leading the race is Edwards. Gathers it, feeds it back. Connell. The Crows haven't given up. Connell goes out wide. And the mark is taken on the other side wing by Goodwin. Feigns a hand pass. Cuts back towards the middle. Hart takes the mark over the umpire. There's one for the highlight reel. Smart climbing above umpire Hayden Kennedy. The two number 7s. It goes out wide. This is Edwards forward of the wing. Pushed off the kick. It bounces down towards the 50. Taken by Robran. Got it across to Goodwin. On his knees back to Robran. Tackled by Silvani, but gets the kick away. Welsh works in front. Beaumont got a fist on it. Crashing in down there was McLeod. Close to the boundary line and upended was Rice. Jarman met him right on the line.
Yeah, since quarter time, the Crows really have outscored Carlton. I mean, of course, no doubt Carlton got the jump by kicking 8 goals in that first term, but since then, Adelaide have been pretty good in that area.
Thrown in once again. Fell forward of the pack. Beaumont tries to get it towards the boundary. Eventually, no, it's still in. James did nicely. Gets the hand pass to Rashudo from 60 metres. Goes for distance. And Burton juggles it across the line. Well, possibly that was the easiest of the marks he's contested today.
Well, I thought he marked it, Dennis. I think he stopped the ball there. Once you stop the ball, it's a mark, so it should have been paid.
You're right. I thought his own momentum flung it out, but it was actually a defender who knocked it away as he came down. That should have been a mark. Christou's away. Plenty happening in a one-sided game. Christou running it out towards left half back. It's hard to knot off. Ball comes up towards the wing. Smart was in front. Koutafidis right there with him. Behind is Goodwin. He's getting busy. Little short pass to Smart. Get the feeling that the Crows aren't out of this. Couple of goals. If they can get the next 2, it could be an interesting final term. They're doing best at the moment, but they've got to put it on the scoreboard. Smart's on a low activity day. Eventually kicks it down towards half forward. Christou came hard. Loose at the back. Here's a chance for that man again. Burton from 50. Kicks down towards full forward. McLeod's in front. Knocked away by Rice. Getting back is O'Reilly. There's a whistle. Advantage is played. It was going to be a Carlton free. O'Reilly, as a result, confused a little. Kicks it towards the outer side, wanting it to run out. Jarman keeps it in. So Carlton have got a problem. Jarman runs back to the 50. Loads up, kicks it high. Burton was he interfered with at the back. Down in front. McLeod tried to hack it out of midair. Couldn't succeed. McKay gets it away. Christou kicks it wide. Out towards the boundary. Johnson the fumble. He's been out of touch. Fletcher coughed it up. James hand pass comes nicely inside. Crowell to Smart. Goes in short. The mark is taken by Robran. Well, that was interesting too. Burton about 10 metres away from the contest hit the deck. Robran 60 metres from goal, sets it up. Burton won't be in this contest. A lot of pushing, and Beaumont will get the free called against Welsh. And the crowd think it's overdue.
Yeah, no doubt about the free kick was probably, once again we see Welsh get rid of his opponent. Beaumont's been pretty good in the back line. The good thing about him, he does kick the ball long and been a raking left footer.
This game has turned a bit in the last 10 minutes or so. A terrific patch for Adelaide, worthy of more goals. Koutafidis, will it be the individual brilliance of players like this man who turn it? It comes to Merrington. Merrington kicks it up towards half forward. Ratton, wonderful stuff. Turned Edwards. Ratton and Edwards go after it. Edwards wins the day. The hand pass, though, knocked down by Camporelli. Chance for Heckmott. Comes back to the boy supplied by Bradley. In his pocket was Goodwin. Goodwin gets the hand pass away towards James. That's that slippery dip again. James slides across the line.
And you spoke about Goodwin, Dennis. He's had 21 possessions here. Mark Bickley's got looks like he's got a crooked collarbone or an arm injured. As you haven't seen Matthew Allen.
What a milestone. That's rotten luck for Mark Bickley. Marsh. Ratton brilliantly done, gets it away. Bradley spots the open goal. We talked about the quality players, and there's two of them right there. His second.
Sick of neighbours peering into your garden?
Privacy is a real drama here.
Then Wednesday.
It's a bit like Pompeii here, mate.
Have we got the budget makeover for you?
We're going to enclose the garden.
But can they make the deadline?
She's 10 minutes away.
Ground Force, Wednesday, 7:30. Then, we all know buying and renovating can be expensive.
I've been saving for most probably 10 years.
But what about the personal costs? Can our new couple survive their renovating rampage?
Don't cause me grievance here.
Seven's Hot Property, Wednesday at 8.
16-4, 8-8, approaching three-quarter time. So Adelaide keep toying with our emotions. Wonderful stuff, Craig Bradley. Marsh goes up, knocks it down. Smart in trouble, taken to the ground. Houlihan's over the ball, coming through strongly as Connell. Houlihan still has him. Goodwin, he's had a good turn, run over that time by Beaumont. The ball's in there somewhere, and the bodies go in willingly. Belying the scoreboard, we've got a ball up.
Mark Bickley's got a crook wrist, Dennis. So he's out for the rest of the game. It's unfortunate.
Mark Bickley, rather. Marsh goes up, thumps it down. Bradley inside the centre square. Pulls it back. Whitnell, haven't seen a lot of him. Had 5 goals to half-time. Dropped the mark. Rashudo back pedals. Props. This is dangerous. Out towards Crowell, bounced over his head. Mansfield has it, pops it back in, and Houlihan's taken the mark from the goal-kicking Houlihan family.
Well, just a turnover once again, and when you do turn the football over against a quality side like Carlton, good vision by Michael Mansfield, who could certainly just have bombed that nice and long. His vision was first class.
So another kick after the siren. Scott Wells put it a goal after the half-time siren at this end. And now Houlihan. Brian Houlihan from 40 metres out. What's he done? He's missed a behind to stretch the lead. Carlton challenged again at various times in that quarter, and again putting their stamp on the game late. So the margin was 30 points at half-time. It's now out to 45. Adelaide some very good patches in that third quarter, but they're struggling to get their goals, and at three-quarter time they're down 16-5 to 8-8.
Oh,
Carlton lead at three-quarter time at 16-5 to 8-8, and as you can see, they've led at every change. 5 goals to Lance Whitnell. He had 5 at the major break.
7 Sport hope you're enjoying this match as part of the Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000.
I have to say, Brett Burton's made a difference. He came onto the ground after quarter time, and really, he's a spring-heeled jack on the forward line, can really take a grab. That one over Silvani, a highlight certainly. He's a terrific player. There's another good mark. And finally, this one should have been paid.
No doubt about that, Dennis. That would have been pay the mark. That would have been probably his 4th goal. It would have been a good reward for him.
Craig Bradley, we talked about the class perhaps rising to the top. At this stage, Adelaide were challenging, and then suddenly Ratton slipped it away to Bradley, and Bradley from long range kicked a telling goal. 20 possessions for Craig Bradley. 2 other games being played today. The MCG, Hawthorn in Melbourne, followed by Geelong and the Brisbane Lions at Shell Stadium. Let's take a look at those scores. If you don't want to know the scores, look away now. So what can the Adelaide Crows muster for the run home? The breeze has freshened a little bit, but not that much.
Just need their forward line to really start working a bit harder. You know, Burton, as we've touched on before, has been that shining light down there with 3 goals since coming on the ground. He started on the bench. Scotty Welsh has kicked a couple. can it be the brilliance of Darren Jarman? We've seen him do it so many times. He's one player may need to sort of turn it on for the Adelaide Crows.
And Matthew Robbins gone down to the forward line. Dougie up against Christou, where he's a natural forward and should lead from the front at centre-half forward. Down there with Burton, 2 marking targets.
Start of the final term from Optus. Carlton lead it by 45 points. Houghton has to wait, knocks it down. Kutafudi's got it to Bradley. Kicks down towards half forward. Hart looking to reach around his opponent down there and knock it away. Had no luck. Over the ball is Camporelli. On top of him is Costa. And a whistle.
It should take a risk here, Gary Ayres, and put all these good players on the ball. McLeod, Risciuto. Take a risk. Bickley's off the ground, so you're down one there. Costa's playing on Camporelli's done a pretty good job.
The umpires today not exactly popular with the Blues faithful. Now the congestion by Ratton. Marsh has got it in the back pocket. Kicks play around the outer side. The mark is held by Vardy, who wants to go. Comes back inside. Risciuto goes forward this time. Goodwin has it. Goodwin's hand pass under pressure. Robran lacking support. Hand passes out wide. Silvani leads in the race with Jarman. And out it goes.
And Dennis, it should have been a long kick from the half-back line of Adelaide there. Too many handballs over finessing. Should have kicked it down to Robran and had the blokes working to the front of Robran and go forward and long to the goal square.
Boundary throw in. Robran and Riley. Comes down in front. Risciuto fell over. It's Vardy. It was Vardy who goes back in. Risciuto there as well. The base of all of that is O'Reilly. The attendance today, 25,373.
Interesting move here too from David Parker. Now looks like Aaron Hamill has gone to pick up Brett Burton, who's probably the only forward for the Adelaide Crows at this stage of the game with his 3 goals.
O'Reilly knocks it down. McKay missed it. Backing out of the pack is James. Hand passes across to Goodwin, who was immediately in trouble. Nabbed by Mansfield.
You're right, Couchy, about the midfield of the Adelaide Crows. McLeod's only had the 9 touches and Mark Risciuto's only had the 14. They're the 2 players, as you touched on with Bickley off the ground. They need a big last quarter for the Crows to get right back into this game.
In front, it was one down nicely. Hand pass comes across to Jarman. Jarman is off the mark. Robran initiating that from the bounce, but no finish. Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, it's a good matchup there, Hamill up against Burton, because he's a marking player, Hamill, and that's what you need against Burton. Another marking player, so you've got a bit of height and a bit of leap.
Beaumont off a step to Silvani in the goal square. Silvani decides to play on, runs to the pocket, kicks it towards the half-back flank. Fletcher was up, keeping his footing Stengline, goes back, finds it on the ground, gets it to James, across it comes to Edwards. Edwards to Stengline. Stengline 75 metres from goal. Not a good kick. Into a nest of Blues, it's built by Hickmott. His first blemish of the day, applies a strong tackle on Robran. On the bounce.
The sun was in his eyes there, Dennis. That's why I missed that one. But Carlton there, the sun does get in your eyes, especially that end of the ground.
An old mate from Geelong, eh? It's amazing.
Look after your mate, Couch.
You look after him.
Hey?
Although he used to run over you in training, didn't he? Didn't you tell me that
He
story?
knocked me out twice in 2 games.
On his knees, Lappin. Burton smothered off the boot. Well taken by Beaumont. Hooks it back towards the wing. Arriving late was Houghton. He's like a Swiss Army knife in this Carlton team. Does everything. Lays a long tackle and a strong tackle. Comes again, he's over the ball. It spills back to McLeod eventually. Clears the zone with a high kick. They'll contest about 25 metres out. No contest. Steve O'Reilly judged it brilliantly. Sweeping hand pass. Christou's away. Breaking hard for him is Bradley towards the outer side. Now Bradley's got it. What's up ahead? Ratton is coming towards him. He's ignored that. Looking back towards the middle. Bit of confusion, decides to run away from half-back, and why not? Drag down, that's got to be holding the ball. There was good pressure on the outer side by the big fellow Marsh. Now Burton is tackled by Bradley, but the umpire insisting it come all the way back to be taken by Marsh. That's great chase given the scoreboard.
It is certainly not evident, Dennis. I just thought Bradley did the right thing. He worked it out. The Marsh is big and fairly slow, and thought he'd take him on, but good work by Big Ben Marsh then.
To treat him with more respect in the future. Up goes O'Reilly, knocks it down. McKay, Fletcher, coming away Beaumont. Little chip towards centre field. Houghton again. Draws a man, looping hand pass over the top. Releases Rice. He's on the wing then Rice. Kicking inside the 50. Hart's in front of Ratton. Takes the diving mark. Doesn't stop trying back there, Ben Hart. Drives it across the ground. Well-weighted kick too. McLeod didn't have to break stride. Comes to Caven. Left-sided. Caven kicks inside the 50. Silvani goes back. Burton comes belatedly. Silvani takes the mark.
Looks like Jarman's having a bit of a spell for the Adelaide Crows. And good news maybe for Carlton that Matthew Allen may only have a jarred knee, so might only miss 1 or 2 games.
Koutafidis nonchalantly comes away and uses it very well. Rice has it. Silvani plodding up towards the middle. Silvani kicks down towards half forward with the run of it. Franchina gets the hand pass away. Mansfield got an unkind bounce. Applied a strong tackle, but not before Goodwin got the ball to Costa. Costa on the outer side pulls it back to half forward. Robrin, strong hands in front of Christo. Feeds it wide. This is Edwards. Has a bounce running down towards right half forward. Very high ball. No Burton in this pack. O'Reilly takes another strong mark. And the crowd warming to Steve O'Reilly. Plays on to Beaumont. Beaumont sends it back towards midfield. Over the top was Goodwin. Mansfield paid the mark in front. No. Well, it should have been a punch. Mansfield a bit stiff. Stenglein got it from Goodwin. Kicks back inside the 50. Bassett lines up this time and goes against O'Reilly. It comes back towards Bassett. Slapped towards the boundary line by Hamill. And out it goes.
And you spoke about Steve O'Reilly. 12 kicks, 4 handballs and 7 marks. More importantly, you see Darren Jarman off the ground. He's been used on and off the ground this year.
Boundary throw in, right full forward then for the Crows, doing a lot of the attacking again in this term. O'Reilly reaches over the top of Robrin. Taken down in a strong tackle was Rice by Welsh. It spills to McKay. Hamill on the burst. Kicking it out towards the wing. Well played by Smart. Goes again, applies a strong tackle, dives on the ball. Koutafidis trying to wrench it out. Hotton's hand pass taken on the bounce by McKay. McKay measures his hand pass. Lap it inside the 50. Nobody at home. Fletcher runs onto the ball and kicks a goal. That was supposed to happen, I think, in the 3rd term.
He's agreeing to meet me. We're going to meet tonight.
Ali's been using internet chat rooms.
Love and lips and thunder thighs. Yeah, and wait till you see who she meets. It's me.
Wow. You expected something different?
Oh, boy. That's Ali Monday.
A few trying patients.
You doctors are full of it.
A few strong words.
You were making basic mistakes.
As anyone would with an anal retentive madwoman breathing down their neck.
And friends will turn into enemies.
Well, get used to it.
All Saints Tuesday.
Very much a pattern today. Adelaide throwing everything at Carlton. Carlton holding, and then the counterpunch comes. And they get the easy goal. Well, the inspirational goal at the opposite end. McLeod, Rashudo, couldn't control it. Fletcher just missed him. Koutafidis grabbed him without the ball.
We've said something about Carlton's backline today. Christou, O'Reilly, been very, very good. Silvani and Dean Rice, 4 of the best backmen today.
So Rashudo pleading with his forwards to move. Don't like to see that in the team as he kicks to about 20 metres out and a big leap from the back. Welsh has taken the mark after I think Burton was up a tad early in front.
Gee, I reckon Hamill might have had a little bit of this one, because Hamill was certainly the Carlton players in front of Scott Welsh on that occasion. Good kick there by Rashudo. Here we are once again. Oh no, good mark for Scott Welsh. Good decision by the umpire.
Like Burton's attitude, like he jumped early, missed it, so he didn't want to miss out on who marked it. He turned around in midair. Had a look, took a peek. There's the kick from Welsh. And I think he's got it. He's got.
It's something we'll witness only once in a lifetime. An epic journey that begins at Uluru and travels across Australia to Sydney. Now you can follow the flame with the 2000 Olympic Torch Relay Starter Pin Kit. Collect all the pins as you trace this historic journey. To get you started, the album and first pin are free. The commemorative 2000 Olympic Torch Relay Starter Pin Kit, only in the Advertiser and Sunday Mail.
The slog continues for Adelaide. 9-8 by 17-5, but they haven't turned it up. Out of the centre, McLeod towards half forward. Welsh controlled it pretty well twice. The hand pass, though, wide of the pack. Crashing in was Burton. He comes again, does Burton. James was held according to the umpire, and he'll get the free. James off a step. Christou slipped. That was bad luck. Bassett steps over him. Connell gets the hand pass away. Robran back to Bassett. Bassett 25 metres out, kicks another goal.
Well, McLeod's moved into the middle there and he's had 2 important touches. They've got it forward twice now. Rashudo was involved, but just the clearances out of the centre are very important. Put the pressure on the Carlton defenders, and that's what you want. There's a one-on-one contest all over the ground here. Robran's looks a little bit more dangerous in the forward line there, and Bassett made every opportunity there and scored a goal.
I have to say, Christou was a bit stiff. Just as he was stretching up, his feet went from under him. 17-5, 10-8. One wide by Houghton. Franchina poked at it.
Andrew McLeod's had 2 important touches in the last 2 centre square clearances. Worked well with Rashudo on the first one. Got the second one out also.
Bounce alongside the centre circle. Houghton again, clean possession this time. Wrestled to the ground by Rashudo. Coming through is Edwards. Chopped off by Marsh. Swings it down towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Burton and Hamill. Leading back is Christou. Comes towards the middle. Fletcher combines with Hamill. Hamill, nice looking kick, or wasn't. Showed too much of it to McLeod. Pays the price. Well, what about these Crows?
The Mitsubishi Triton has a larger payload than Hilux.
Bigger.
Plus, it has more legroom and headroom than Hilux.
Bigger.
And Triton's 3-litre V6 four-wheel drive engine has an extra 25 kilowatts more power.
Ooh. Bigger.
The Mitsubishi Triton four-wheel drive ute. Bigger than the other bugger. It is Mitsubishi.
There earlier, Doug, instead of playing the half-back line, I can't believe that Andrew McLeod and Rashudo weren't on the ball right from the very start. They were early, but they were well beaten.
Well, maybe it's not over yet. 33 points the margin. Houghton comes. Bradley on the assist, thumping it down towards half forward. Over the ball is Biglands. Knocks it goalward. In the road, though, Hickmott feeds it back to McKay. And will history repeat itself? Will they get a hurting goal here? Inside the 50. Well done by Connell. Spins out of trouble. And they hold for the moment. Vardy in midfield. He's away. Vardy inside the centre square. Unloads. Silvani in best position. Drops the mark. Taken down by Welsh. Diving in down there is Burton. Welsh is over the top. And again, a sea of bodies and a whistle.
One bloke who's done very, very well is Caven on Lance Whitnell's done a great job, just quelled him beautifully here. And Adelaide are in attack here. They've got a chance here. McLeod, the good players are on the ball. Trust your good players, and I'll always work hard for you all through the 4 quarters.
Marsh props in front of Houghton, taken by Burton, bursting through.
Kicked it.
I think he's kicked it right across the face, has he? To behind.
Bad luck.
What a fantastic idea. Hit that ball at full speed.
How did he grab this out of the ruck? The 2 big ruckmen were going for the ball. Looked like Houghton and Ben Marsh. And there's Burton. It could have been maybe nearly a free kick after he kicked the football too there to Brett Burton.
An exciting player. An impact player this afternoon. Back after injury. Bradley chips it into Rice. Short of half back. 17-5, 11-9. Still over 11 minutes to play. Ratton, Bradley has come up from fullback, chips up towards the wing. Lappin's got it. Meters in the clear. Lappin down towards half forward. Koutafidis in from the side. Stenglein was up very high. Now Goodwin has the ball held to him and the ball up.
One bloke who's done a great job on Camperelli is Kim Costa. Camperelli's only had 17 possessions, well behind his general 30 on average. So he's done a very tight job on Camperelli today.
107-75. Bounce about 40 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. Biglands was up. That's interesting. The ball comes across to Ratton, who screws it down towards full forward. It bounces out of bounds in the pocket. In fact, it's going to be a free kick, I think, to Rashudo. Was that Caven on the ground that was trying to kick it while he was flattening his back? I think it was. You've got to improvise in tight finishes. Here's Connell around the outer side. Not that it's tight yet, but it's got some promise. Hart takes the mark close to the boundary line. Ben Hart kicking down towards half forward. Not a good kick. Lappin, uncontested. It's not a problem. Goes short. Well, it's chopped off on the mark by Edwards. Edwards breaks towards the middle. Bassett. Terrible mistake by Lappin. And Bassett directly in front, about 40 metres out with a chance to score.
Not really a long kick, Nathan Bassett. This may just stretch him this distance. Probably kicking off 50, 55 metres.
Well, this would make the Blues and their supporters a little bit or rather a little bit nervous, as the kick comes from outside the 50. Good call, Doug. Just trying to hoist it a bit far, and it tailed off and was helped across the line. (11-10), 17-5. Christou off a step, finds Hamill in the pocket. So Carlton need to be careful. 31 points the margin. Drives it up towards the wing. From behind, a big leap by Biglands. Couldn't hang on. Hume camped in front, got it to Fletcher to Bradley. Bradley the juggle mark. McLeod almost took him front on. Quick hands away. Hickmott kicking down towards half forward. Camporelli. Seen a lot of him. He's marked right on the 50. Whitnell wants it long. Fletcher wants it on the angle. He obliges Whitnell. In fact, it may have the carry to be a goal in its own right. Off hands and just across the line. Too slow as it turned out. It was 2-on-1 on Whitnell at the finish.
Hands of Craig Bradley, as you called it, Dennis, just first class there to get that quick handball. He dropped the mark and just followed the ball up, and just quick hands by Craig Bradley was just brilliant football.
Hart straight up the middle. The big man takes a strong mark. Marsh to James to half forward. Meters in the clear as Edwards can turn around. A question of accuracy, and he's kicked it. Tyson Edwards. 26 points the margin.
Here's a family who wants to enhance their outdoor living area and add value to their home with a new deck and garden. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
40-tooth blade, the more teeth on the blade, the finer the cut. So the tooth is...
What was that?
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Dad, my cup of tea!
What's here?
The Mitre 10 truck.
Well, perseverance is everything. Carlton 17-6, Adelaide 12-10. Houghton beaten by Marsh, fell at their feet. Hume comes away, kicking down towards half forward. Clever mark is taken by Vardy, just pushing off Bradley. He's marked at right half back. Peter Vardy pops it across to Smart. In the clear, Smart goes by hand. McLeod hard against the boundary line, tries to squeeze out the pass. Oh, and Rice coming back. Burton over the top. Hamill is incensed. Watch it again. Rice, so much courage. Burton coming up on the lead.
He's dangerous.
Going to be 50.
Is that reportable? That's his game, Brett Burton. I mean, he did jump a little bit late. He's been good doing Rice. He had the job initially on Peter Vardy, who's only had the 6 touches. Now we see Vardy playing on Craig Bradley.
I think he's been reported.
He has been reported for that?
Yep. And that's a very interesting one for the tribunal, is it not? He's a hard player to read, Burton. An unusual player. But what courage from Rice. Rice with the 50 is up on the wing. Good to see he's okay. Kicks inside his attacking 50. Over the top, Smart collided with an opponent down there in Hickmott. It's jarred wide. Fighting after it, Houlihan. Ball still in there. Franchina backs out. Hart goes down. It's like them all. And eventually the umpire calls for it in the pocket.
Been pretty good, Smart. He's had the 16 touches and 5 marks and 5 tackles too. That's very important too in his game for Nigel Smart. Playing on Anthony Koutafidis, the informed player, no doubt, in the competition's had 24 touches, so fairly even.
The umpire having a bit to say to Darren Hume. That's umpire Stuart Wen. Hume and McLeod not friendly. They're alongside the umpire, who bounces on Carlton's forward line. Houghton again, brilliantly done. The hand pass comes across to Koutafidis. Thought he was pushed in the back. No, free. Caven's in there. Over the top came Houghton again. Another bounce.
Doesn't that Carlton Social Club go up as one when one of their favourite sons gets decked? Cuda.
Well, about 4 weeks ago, I'm sure the umpires made a conscious decision to let them play, but it's not very pretty at times. They're slow whistles. Marsh goes up, slaps it down, taken by McLeod, under pressure in the back pocket, kicks out wide, it bounces out of bounds. Just repeating, Mark Bickley is off the ground. And speaking of injuries, David Neitz at the MCG. There's a bad knee injury, certainly it looks terrible. So, Melbourne paying a high price for their game this afternoon. Certainly it looks that way. Here's hoping for the best. David Neitz hobbling off at the MCG.
Might be unstable.
His right knee. Talking about Bickley before as we watched Neitz. We were told a wrist injury, but it did seem a shoulder. Nice the shoulder. Houghton. Ratton smothered off the boot in the pack. Tried to hand pass it forward. Koutafidis picked it up. Kicks inside the 50. Going back down there is Silvani. Crowd saying he was being held on to. No free kick. Here's a chance for Varney. Gets the hand pass away. Biglan's through centre half back. Kicking down towards half forward. Christou leads in the race. Robran right there with him, and Christou plays the percentages. Just pushes it across the line.
Talking about favourite sons there, Dennis, in front of the Carlton Social Club. We saw Cooter a minute ago. None bigger than Steve Silvani. Did they go up once again?
Got caught with his own tactic there, Dougie.
Yeah. They love him dearly. They love him dearly.
Smart wrestling.
Yes.
Silvani copped one of his own.
It's like good hairspray. The master of the subtle hold. There goes the kick from O'Reilly. And the mark is taken on the line by James. I think they paid the mark. They did. He comes across the ground and finds Edwards. The clock is running, though, on Adelaide, as gallant as they've been. Kick in from Edwards. The pack collapses behind, but the mark is taken by Bassett. Well, about 4 of them fell down. Very Burton conscious. And Bassett has been the beneficiary of that. He'll kick it goal from about 45 metres out. We saw him tested at 50. This needs to be a straight kick if the Crows have any chance. Just under 6 minutes to go. They trail by 26 points. Very important kick. Bassett. Now he's tugged it right again. Behind.
Well, Doug, if it wasn't for that first quarter there, Carlton got off to a great start there, kicking 8-1, and their kicking for goals has been sensational. Adelaide have had 23 shots and Carlton have had 23 also, so it's been pretty even all over the ground. Just their accuracy hasn't been so good today, Adelaide.
Bradley assuming responsibility deep in defence. Kicks it long this time. Biglan's a big leap. Down in front, Burton, an unkind bounce. Crashing into his Hamill. Down goes Burton. It goes out of bounds. Carlton wanting deliberate. The boundary throw in right on the 50.
Looks like now here we've got Steve Silvani, who we saw go up into full forward for Carlton. Now has been moved back to full back to pick up Nathan Bassett. Looks very dangerous down there for the Crows.
Biglan's got first hand to it. Bounces inside the attacking 50 for Adelaide. Rice combines with Bradley. Still Rice across his own goal face. Goes looking for Christou. Missed it. Now the Crows have a chance, but Robran slipped over. Good shepherding from Silvani. Allowed Christou to run up towards the wing. Lucky for him, he got a boot to it. Stays in, though. Well, it did initially. Goodwin's hand pass charged down by Ratton. The boundary throw in on the wing. It seems that Carlton may have weathered the storm.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Dennis. And it's great, not just for Carlton, I think football in general, to see Hans Christou back in some good touch. He's had 17 touches now. He's had 14 kicks. He's been a very good player of their half-back flank today.
Boundary throw in. Koutafidis, Franchina, Bradley, Rice. Now Lappin. Hume has to wait. Comes back to Lappin, who gathered it brilliantly. Spins past Smart. Great play. 75 metres from goal. Whitnall. He's marked about 40 metres out of that. Really sighted in the second half.
Yeah, he kicked 5 goals in the first half, Dennis. Great play, as you call there, by Matthew Lappin now on the wrong side of the body. Kim Costa was forced to go up. Caven was caught out there. It looked like Caven was maybe running off his opponent, just trying to read the play.
So Whitnall at number 6 steers it through.
Tonight, Don't miss an absolutely spellbinding premiere network special. Reptiles are the creatures we love to fear. Enter the world of deadly reptiles tonight, 6:30 on 7.
Did the person you were destined to be with walk straight past you in the street today?
Love is in the air.
What if you asked them out?
Everywhere I look around.
While Australia is watching. The new series Street Mate. Coming soon.
Just under 4.5 minutes to go, and Carlton 18-6 over Adelaide 12-11. And Carlton will make it 10 straight. A big run. Hume through the centre, kicking down towards half-forward. Heckmont launched himself on a slips catch, going away to his left. That was a terrific grab.
Had a great season, Adrian Heckmont, and as we've just touched on before, he's hard at the football. Here we go, see young Hume again getting the ball out of the centre. That is a great mark, and that's the advantage once again being afforded by playing in front. He's got rewarded.
Heckmont will kick from right on the 50. Let's fly. Pretty good looking kick. He's got it. So they've got the last 2 goals.
Well, that's Heckmont's first goal for the game. As we just said, he's been very good. We see Marsh and Houghton going in here for the ball. We see young Hume win the ball out of the centre, and Heckmont, as I said, playing in front of Stegline, who is his opponent on this occasion. Got rewarded with that by playing in front. So good game by Heckmont. He's had 25 touches now, 6 marks.
But 7 points the difference. Houghton, clean possession, grabbed it on the way down. Connell spins out of trouble. Franchina thought he had him, but didn't. Connell kicks towards half forward. Burton and Hamill battle after it. Coming through strongly, O'Reilly. Welsh had it and lost it. McKay's over the ball. Stays in there a while. Robran trying to hand pass it out. Grabbed by Rice. Rice a high ball back towards the centre circle. Koutafidis gets rid of Smart and takes a clever mark. Anthony Koutafidis coming up for his 27th possession. Not a good one though. Stengline, favoured by the kick, got in the road, took the mark, swings it across the ground. Metres in the clear is McLeod. He can take off again. No, he decides to kick this time. Burton will mark it out towards right half forward. Not a crowd favourite. Burton kicks inside the 50. Rice, who is a crowd favourite, outmarked this time by Welsh.
Been pretty good Welsh today so far up their forward line. He has kicked 3 goals and certainly has been one of their winning forwards down in their forward line.
This will require a good kick. They'll go from right on the 50, and as you can see, it hasn't been easy for the forwards. They've done it tough, been very physical. Carlton's backline have made no concessions, so all the forwards bound to be a little bit tired. Welsh trying to steer it through, hasn't quite got the carry. Back goes Silvani, punches it across the line, then puts Bassett down. And the umpire is giving a free kick to Bassett. Well, don't know about that. So let me see, does the point stand? The umpire's waved the point. Well, he can't have got the all clear.
Dennis, that can't be a free kick for what we just saw then, surely against Steve Silvani?
No, very soft. Bassett kicks a goal. Now, that's all very interesting. I'm not sure what the official score should be. He waved the point to the goal umpire. I'm sure he didn't have the all clear. He indicated and waved almost in the one action, although Bassett was put down after the point was scored. So we'll just check the scoreboard. Okay, so
a free kick for that, Dennis. That was the umpire, I think it was Hayden Kennedy against Steve Silvani for pushing that area then.
So the old 7-point play, I think, on what we saw there. But he was very quick, the goal umpire. 19-6, 13-12. Back to 30 points. This is McLeod to Hart. Hart driving it down towards half forward. In from the side, Beaumont. Superior judgment. Releases Bradley around the other side. Bradley kicking towards Heckmont, and Heckmont takes the tumbling mark. Under 2 minutes to go now. So Carlton are home. Heckmont Kicks inside the 50. McLeod comes across. Big leap. Franchina comes in. McLeod is getting a free. So McLeod up from the back pocket. And again, I'm at a loss to know what that was for. A chip towards Edwards. He certainly didn't mark it. Edwards goes very wide towards Connell. Connell slides and the mark is paid. Get the feeling coming out of this, if the score stays at a 30-point margin as Connell takes a slide, neither coach will be really satisfied with this result. Adelaide have worked back into it, but never really going to win it. Goodwin got it from James, and the mark is dropped by Biglands. Chance for Rice. Rice deep in defence, comes to Koutafidis. And Carlton, after leading by 47 points at quarter time, have been outscored for the last 3 quarters. This is Fletcher up towards the wing, and Bradley arriving quickly. Vardy, and Vardy punches it, but directly back to Fletcher. Fletcher hard against the line, did well, kept his head, got it to Ratton. Ratton goes off his step. Hickmott comes hard, takes the mark. Hickmott short, looking for Silvani, and Silvani is marked just outside the centre square. 30 seconds to play. Silvani up was hard, waiting behind a chance for Hume. He fumbles. McLeod comes away, kicks it back up towards the wing. Smart gathers the bouncing ball, lays it off for a shootout. Stenglein towards half forward, and Bassett 60 metres from goal, pulls it back towards the middle. That's a clever kick. And the mark is taken by Jarman directly in front. He will kick after the siren.
Been pretty good, Bassett, since moved down into that forward line. He started the game on Houghton, who's been moved into ruck with Matthew Allen off the ground, but he looks pretty promising down there in the forward line, Nathan Bassett. Gary might have learned something from that move here today.
So Jarman kicking at his third from directly in front. As you'd expect, he's got it. Jarman and Bradley embrace. The margin is pulled under 30 points. Darren Jarman, 3 goals, 2 in the first half. The final scoreline is 19-6 to 14-12. So back to 24 points. And I made the point there, Paul Couch, that neither coach really would be delighted with what's happened. Paul's gone.
No doubt about that, Dennis. It wasn't for the first quarter where Carlton kicked 8 goals. But I just reckon there's one thing we have learned today. And Carlton, if there's any problems, it could be in their ruck division with Matthew Allen leaving the ground at quarter time. Even though I thought Houghton was very good, as I touched on, young Mark Plauder did play in the second. He's their backup ruckman to Matthew Allen. So there is a bit of a problem, particularly to take on the heavyweights.
Well, here he is. We found it. Paul.
Yeah, Andrew, that first quarter really set it up for you.
Oh, pretty much. We stuck to our game plan, which was attack and also defend it, when we had to defend. And then when we get the ball, just go running, mate, just go for it.
Are you happy with your own form after your back injury?
Pretty much so. I think it's 100%. No problem whatsoever.
Part of Carlton's great players, they're chasing and tackling and harassing. That's been a great part which I've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Huge asset to our club. We've been training for it since summer, and full credit, we're showing it out there.
A couple of players that have been playing well for you. Hickmott and Houghton, he's probably been one of your better recruits for a long, long time.
Oh, pretty much so. You can just ask him, mate, he'll tell you. It's going quite well. Same with Hickmott. I mean, it's pretty much a team effort, so we're all doing well.
Lance Whitnell's form in the last couple of weeks certainly helped you win today.
It's been on fire, mate, so I hope you can keep it up.
Good on you, Chris. Edge.
Thanks, mate.
How would I be tagging Couchy? I don't even know when I'm sitting next to him. He was away. He slipped away into the night. Down on the boundary talking there with Ange Christou, a solid defender this afternoon in this Carlton team, who led by 47 points at quarter time and have finally run out winners by 24 points. Well, as the coaches say sometimes, happy to get the 4 points. I'm sure had you told them before the game they'd win by 24, they would have taken that. But then at quarter time, maybe things looked a little different. Full credit to Adelaide. They never once turned it up. They kept on coming, but their forward line just at times struggled. And we saw Carlton on the fast break, the counter-attack, getting some goals that really hurt the Crows.
I just reckon too, Dennis, particularly in the first up in their forward line, the Adelaide Crows struggled to have a marking option down there, and they were forced to move Bassett down there as well. And we saw Brett Burton, who started the game on the bench. He went forward and was a very good play by kicking 3 goals. So maybe something there for Gary Ayres too, that the option of having Burton down there forward line was a good move by him.
Well, I'm sure Burton's on report. I saw the umpire reach into the socks. That'll be an interesting one. As we said at the time, he's such an unusual player. He's hard to categorise because he's a spring-heel jack, and sometimes he goes straight up. Other times he takes those giant steps towards the ball. Rice came back and maybe took his ground a little bit, but the umpire thought obviously he was late going into Rice. Carlton in good voice after they win by 24 points. The Bombers are getting the press. They've won 14 straight, a chance to notch 15 tonight. But Carlton, in their own way, are having a very good season. That's 10 straight victories for them now. They win 19-6 to 14-12 here at Optus Oval.
Hey, guys. No, it was good, mate. It went very, very well. Yep.
Oh, no. I forgot to call my girlfriend on a Telstra mobile phone.
Go on, give him the phone. The calls are free.
Call Telstra Mobile Net now and choose free chat, and you can call other Telstra Mobile Net phones from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And every 15-minute call will be free every night.
This is costing me money. It's not, mate. It's free. Not the phone. That.
Δεν ξέρω, μπορεί 12 η ώρα. Τώρα με βοηθήσουν και δεν οδηγάει ο άλλος.
The Argentine rugby team may have some interesting training methods.
But they'll need more than fancy steps when they tango with the Wallabies in the first test.
Australia versus Argentina tonight, 10:30 on 7.
Whoa, here come the Repco Big League Legends. Series 500 wash and shine, tyre shine and upholstery cleaner only $3.50 each. Ryco oil filters for popular vehicles from $4.95. Air and fuel filters also available. New Castrol GTX Magnatech 5 litre total engine protection for $25.95. Maxi Light driving light kits in 4 styles from just $26.95. Legendary brands at legendary prices. Available at all Repco stores.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm bad, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. I murdered a rock, injured a stone. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. I told you all that I was the greatest.
It is Mitsubishi.
Come and see the real thing, come and see the real thing, nature's finest. Come and taste the real thing, come and taste the real thing, Golden Valley.
Look, I wanted to get the kids a computer, but I don't know anything about them, so this virtual communities package was a godsend. You order by phone, they bring it to your home, set it up and connect it to the internet. And for just $15.26 a week, you get an IBM computer, a colour printer, internet access, stacks of software for the kids, and they do it all. So I still don't know anything about computers, but they're set. The Virtual Communities Computer and Internet Package. Call now, 131789.